And if all my pathways came at once, you would know just what to do. Come on over. Only you can see me through. And if you think I need you to come on over, lay your body down. You know I will be. Oh yeah. And if you think I need you to come on over, lay your love around. Only you can dry my tears. Lay your love on.
So take it easy, so come on over. So let me show you why I wanna be your lover. You shot a special to where you come around now. So baby girl, come around now. So take it easy, so come on over. So let me show you why I wanna be your lover. You shot a special to where you come around now. So baby girl, come around now. Hey.
Well, the baby coming over. Come on, yeah. When I cannot see in front of me, yeah. Girl, you know my darkest days. Come on over. Only you can see me through. And if you think I need you to come on over, lay your body down. You know I will be. Oh yeah. And if you think I need you to come on over, lay your love around. Only you can dry my tears. Yes, sir.
Take it easy, so come on over. So let me show you why I wanna be your lover. You try to cross it to why they come around now. So baby girl, come around now. So take it easy, come on over. Let me show you why I wanna be your lover. You try to cross it to why they come around now. So baby girl, come around now. Hey!
Oh yeah. Well, the baby coming over.
Say no, say, don't ever live a single moment being someone that you can't see, hiding who you are inside to blend in with society. So off we go on my rundown shit. Watch the sunset, your feelings free, 'cause every day we're sinking deeper and we have to face reality. So don't forget your roots, 'cause that's all you got. I know that one day we'll make it to the mountain top. Boy, say now, don't forget your roots, 'cause that's all you got. I know that one day we'll make it to the mountain top. No, set blind confusion in this
di sombranza tanmak e zu ita saluda antes di niga radzaudzan malak estrezas durante todo el memu a nogi distancia como kupugi palu Zangiman malak guafi ikonum nasugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues Atan Fanny Bandera Kau esta pagua pumalapa Giluk tanu man libri Sentami ti man ko badi
Fanogi tamoru purita nota kantai matu nanyagi todu ilugat para i honra para i gloria abiba is la sin para y honra, para y gloria, abiba is la sin parar. Todo y tiempo y paz para hita dan gini langit na bendition. Concai peligro na fan sofuham Zeus protegis languahon Concai peligro na fan sofuham Zeus protegis languahon
Osaina, Oaniti, Ninumari, Amines, Kunta, Ninale. Osaina, Oaniti, Ninumari, Amines, Kunta, Ninale.
you to an island where the sun never stops shining. Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining. Can I take you to a place I call home? Down south in Pneumatic where my family roams. It's a hot summer day and we all kicking back, sipping on a cold one. Now what you think about that? That's life. Here on this island paradise. Yo, I'm going back soon, but I might think twice, cause that city life is way too fast. Yo, I'd rather stay in Guam because this life is bad. Sand beaches, surrounded by my nature. No need to worry about these player haters and my culture. I got love for my people, still rapping Guam, staying true to my chat loose. Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining. Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining.
I come representing Guam, USA. Raised on a hill in the Ville by the bay. Y to the O and to the Izzy. Me Scoop Dog on the mic getting busy. Y'all know this pot. Cruising the day, then park the spot after dark in the village. Joint is where you'll find me. Or down in Naval Mad with my nails right beside me. We just chillin', cause that's the way we do. Call the chair loose, tell them we gon' barbecue. The crew rollin' by tonight. We got Slim on the left and YD to the right.
Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining. Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining.
I gotta get some brew, cause I just got paid. Put up the canopy to get some shade, so we could kick back like it was nothing at all. While my primos and my homies playing basketball. The day is going smooth the way I thought it would be. Me and my family by the coconut tree, relaxed, waiting for the food to be done. My nephew's calling me to play one-on-one. I said, wait boy, I have to make the tanak. And once I get finished, I cook the tatagat, so we can chow down like we never did. Call everybody, especially the kids.
We're just kicking back in the village. All the kids are playing around with the family. We're just kicking back on the island. Memories we're talking about with just you and me.
Oh yeah. We're here in the beautiful island of Guam, chilling down in the wonderful village of Humane. It's a beautiful day today. Sun shining bright, shimmering along the bay. Family, children laughing around. That's how we doing down here on my island.
Let me take you to an island where the sun never stops shining. Let me take you to an island.
Let's go.
Where the sun never stops shining.
Right on. Good morning. Good morning, Jason Solis.
It's still dark outside.
Yeah, it's dark. It's very dark. 6:21. Tuesday, December 28th.
Where's the sun?
Where is it? It's coming, Jay. Wait for it. It's Tuesday, guys. The last Tuesday of 2021. Dun, dun, dun. I like it. This week, every day, I can say it's the last Wednesday of 2021.
I did that last night when I did the voice work for the birthday shout-outs. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the last Monday birthdays.
Yeah, We're going to milk it. Here comes the new year. Let's get it over with. That's kind of I feel like everyone's sentiment is like, hurry, let's just get it over with.
But everyone's also saying it's like, okay, like those big Christmas parties that you had,
Yeah,
let's go see if it was worth it.
yeah. Well,
We'll know in about a week.
we will definitely. Good morning, guys. Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, ITD, and Jack in the Box. Kahulu, wipe away the mugu. It's the link here on the Breeze 93.9. We're also, of course, broadcasting on Facebook Live, our KUAM News Facebook page. Rosalia Duenas, good morning from Saipan. Good morning, Rosalia Duenas. Olympia Borja checks in. Good morning, everyone. Emma Olalia, good morning. Thumbs up. Well, good morning on you, too. Ken Paulino, good morning. Who we got here? First one in, Bennett Lujan Duenas with a nice little sticker. Joy to the world. Elizabeth Agagi, Hafaloa, good morning from KUAM Guam, from Eva Beach, Hawaii. Angel Pete, Quintanilla Castro. Thank you, Angel Pete. Good morning from Million KUAM News. Mananasi Zuos. All have a good day and be safe. Definitely. Elizabeth Agagi wishing good morning to our Link fam, Rosemary Laguatnia, Debbie Davis, Glenn Lujan, Chamarita Rages, Ken Paulino, Chris Cave. Good morning, everyone. On this Tuesday, Tony Martinez, good morning, Guam, the Link family. Mama Bear, Debbie Davis, good morning, and thank you so much for the jerky. Agnes Tudela Cabrera, good morning, my Link KUAM friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, Auntie Agnes is going to be making us breakfast tomorrow.
Wow, thank you, Auntie Agnes.
Roberto Fraccassini, forget about it. I get talking to Tony.
Oh, by the way, did you see what Mr. Fraccassini dropped off like last week? You were out on a shoot.
Okay.
But I came up in the front and he was there, and he gifted us with this wonderful like Italian this classic bread.
Is that the one that's in the box?
Yeah.
How was it?
No, I put it on your desk.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I better check that. But you're talking about the one that's
it's not like it's not a biscotti or anything.
It's like a
that.
pound cake kind of.
No, I think he was saying like it's to be eaten with a meal.
You mean he was saying it should be eaten with a meal?
But I mean, it looked wonderful, and then
you eat it with the meal after you get a steak of bolognese.
You do realize that in your mind,
it sounds better in my mind.
Every Italian person on the planet does not sound like either The Godfather, the Corleone family, or Super Mario Brothers, right? You do realize that, right?
I love Mr. Fraccassini. Good morning, Mr. Fraccassini.
And he's great. And as true to his character, he's so generous and he's so giving. He actually donated a couple of toys.
Joey and Vanji Gogui, Mananasi Duos, very cold air in Tizen. Yeah, you know what? It's been very chilly. It's been a little chilly lately.
Have you had a little chili lately?
I haven't had any chili in a while. Actually, I had a chili dog.
Oh.
I had a chili dog at Custom Fitness during Uproar. Yeah, they were cooking in the back. So I had a chili dog. But yeah, Jay, I haven't had any chili lately. How about you? Have you had a little chili lately?
No, but that sounds good for lunch.
It does. How do you like your chili, though?
Big chili.
You want a big one?
Yeah.
With rice?
No rice.
Oh, no rice. Of course not.
Just the meat.
You're going to embrace your American side. You want the meat and the bread, right?
Tater tots.
I don't know where we're going with this
No,
chili thing, but
chili. Okay,
it has been a little chilly.
What is man? If Sabrina was here, she'd definitely jump on this. But we've talked about what is the best way to enjoy like a hot dog before. My thing is you just get like a good like the ones you can like enjoy at a baseball game.
Yeah.
Like even the ballpark Franks.
Yeah.
The plump when you cook them ones.
Yeah.
Get that. Just give me some.
The Teresa's Puck Puck of hot dog.
Yeah. But me, I will take more relish than anything else. I mean, I like ketchup
You lost
and
me,
mustard,
Jay.
but relish more than anything.
We can't be friends if you relish the relish.
Okay. Do you put cheese on your chili dog?
Hell no.
That's disgusting.
No. Okay, actually, if it's an option, yeah. You know, like chili cheese fries? Yeah, man.
No, chili cheese fries.
Yeah, but
not
it's the
chili
same
cheese
thing.
dog.
It's the same thing, Jay.
Cheese
it's
on
chili
a hot
and
dog?
cheese and a hot dog.
Wait, the slice of American cheese, the
No,
square one, or the squirt?
I don't do American. I don't do American cheese. I do the Samoru cheese. No, I do the shredded one. The American one, it's fake, which is there's a lot of metaphor there. Yeah, it's fake. It's made of oil and milk.
Again, you would be there, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, Mr. Barnett, would you like American cheese?" No, we're standing against this.
We want our land back. Keep your cheese.
You always have to be like that one guy. Oh, would you like some American cheese?
I'm just saying it is processed.
Okay, Barnett.
It's a processed cheese food. Yeah, I know.
And it's interesting how the two people in our company who are like the most Chamorro and have like really good local values, really, really nice guys. They live in Afamalik. Their last names are Barnett and Jackson.
Wow. That's because we're compensating, bro.
Yeah, and DJ
I gotta
Oz,
compensate for this Barnett name.
What's up, Oz? Yeah, DJ Oz. You guys know DJ Oz.
Yeah, Oscar Jackson Poggett. 628. It's Tuesday, December 28th. Here's it coming up on the show.
And the guy who's probably like the least like hardcore Chamorro, his last name is Salas.
See, Mama Bear says, Ballpark Franks with chili, shredded cheddar cheese, and mustard. Okay. Onions, though. I need my onions.
Okay, what kind of mustard though are you?
Not Grey Poupon.
Do you like Grey Poupon at all? Grey Poupon is good.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, it's okay.
And when we
With
were
a
in
little
high
bit
school,
of honey.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah, when we
the
were in high
commercials were
school.
hilarious, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but Grey Poupon is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Do they still do commercials?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Grey Poupon commercial or
Yeah.
a Bartles and James commercial in
Right,
a long
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Remember Bartles
yeah.
and James?
And
that's what we do. We're these two old dudes
Yeah,
just sitting
yeah.
on our porch.
Yep.
And thank you for your support.
Right. 6:28 now.
That's the
JM
best.
Montano comments. Anyone ready for school to start next month? Elizabeth Agagi, COVID numbers are high in Hawaii. Recommend to double up on your mask and to wear a shield. You mean like the medieval one or the face shield?
Wait, they're saying. So Liz, they're saying double up on the mask.
Yeah, that's what I think Fauci was like. Wear 12 masks at the same time.
Wow.
Or something. Yeah. Yeah, guys. I'm kind of thinking we should have already been preparing for this, but we're too busy patting ourselves on the back that we made it through. Look, we made it. Did we make it? I don't know. The rest of the world is struggling with this Omicron, and we're just kind of like, la-di-da-di-da, we're going to have a Christmas.
And you know what that means? It's only a matter of time before it filters over here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
One way or the other. Yeah.
Jay, if there's thousands of cases in Hawaii and we're
Yeah.
getting people, like I know friends who are just in Hawaii and are coming back to Guam, and guess what? They're vaxxed. They're not going into quarantine. I don't think anyone's going into quarantine anymore. They're here in our community.
And you were actually a big enough man to say yesterday because in the morning, you were doing your.
I was a big enough man.
You're like, oh, nobody's getting tested because I was saying, look at the
yeah.
numbers and the way the math works on the car score and everything.
Well, what were the numbers?
And then Daniel Perez actually said, hey guys, I'm going out to tease him because there was a long line.
Yeah, and then when he got there, he said there was about 20 cars. What were the numbers last night, Jay?
It was 9 people are in the hospital for COVID. One is in the ICU and one is on a ventilator. So please pray for those 2 people.
Right.
6 of the 9
What were the
vaccinated.
The cases though? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, 26 new positive cases out of
26
out of about 900 some. So the positivity rate is 2.7%.
Wow.
It is going up.
It is,
ever
yeah.
so slightly.
I mean, 26. That's the most in about a minute, right?
But then again, that's the weekend numbers, which always tend to be like, and it was a long holiday weekend, and.
But you guys do you think that we should be preparing for this, or?
Again, like we said yesterday, there's 2 schools of thought, right?
Yeah.
We can say, let's try and prepare and do everything we can so that when it inevitably gets here, we can maybe offset the effects because we were already ready and everyone was doing. Or we just say screw it and let's just live our lives.
I think we're doing the screw it thing.
And then when it gets here, we'll just deal with it when it's here. I mean, that again, depending on what side of the argument you fall on, that seems to be the 2 approaches.
I think that our we're doing the same approach we did in the last surge, which is just let it run rampant.
The
and
screw it approach?
People are going to die. The screw it, yeah. Yeah, but should we be doing any kinds of preparation? When you read that there's flights canceling, that a lot of the schools are migrating back to purely online because of what's happening in the States, that we follow the States. If you look at the surges that we've had, they always follow the States. And if you also look at the data, and people are going to hate on me for saying this, but the data clearly shows that a lot of our surges begin with a military ship visit. It is what it is, you know what I mean? And I don't know if that's necessarily coincidental or if it's they're coming in and going out in the community and there's just a whole lot of hot bodies all together. But that's just the reality is that when you look at the data.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, Dr. Ann in her presentation said that the last surge started with this. So.
And again, we remember going all the way back, and I've said this numerous times in the 2 years we've been doing this show. Guamanians, because it is kind of like our character, right? We're very afraid typically and very tentative to address our mortality, right? So getting locals to get out and get tested was a really hard chore for the first few months of the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we broke that story about 31 airmen who were here, and then they all tested it and spread it as far as, Tumon all the way down to just Pirates Cove. 2 days later, they had a community testing thing up at
and everybody
up at the Gigo community at the Gigo gym, and it had like 1,500 people show up.
Right. Yeah. So I guess
you're not wrong.
What we're seeing in the national media reports is, of course they're saying if you're fully vaccinated and boosted, that if you do get Omicron, you're likely to see mild symptoms, and so again, that's kind of why we're trying to push this booster thing because, well, I mean, that's what they're saying scientifically, and if that's what they're saying, then give it a shot. No pun intended. I actually ran into a guy last night, Jay. I would grab some Taco Bell, totally out of character. I had Taco Bell for dinner last night.
Well, because the special significant other is back and she wanted it, right? Shout out to Maria, by the way.
I had Taco Bell last night, and so it was Hagåtña last night was just crazy. So originally I wanted to get some Italian, you know which one I'm talking about, and I called like 40. Not even kidding, like 40 times. You know when you try and call a number and it's like the number you've dialed is not. It just says like you can't reach it or something because they're on the phone or so. Anyway, I kept calling, and I was getting that message, so it's like, frick it, I'll just drive over there. So I drove over there, and I came in. I was like, holy, that's why they're not answering the phone. There are like 80,000 million people in here.
Really?
And so this restaurant, just to get a takeout order, not to get to just to order, you had to line up. And they were only accepting orders like every 15 minutes. And so I was like, oh, can I just get I just want the soup. And they're like, oh, yeah, sir, yeah, it should be done quick. But first you got to line up. And I took a look at the line and was like, what the heck? 10 just for the right? I feel like this is Hunger Games. I'm a fight to the death for the right to just place an order.
Is this like the Tickle Me Elmo line?
Yeah. So, and I was like, yeah, screw it, we'll go to Taco Bell. So anyway, I went to Taco Bell, and I ran into a guy, Stefan, who he drives for Hawaiian Rock. And he said when he was on leave, he came by and you asked him to like blow the gas or whatever.
Oh
in the truck.
He won one of our
He won one of the prizes.
Yeah, I remember that guy. He's a cool guy.
So I was talking to him about just everything that's going on. He listens every morning. I've been running into a lot of people who listen every morning to the link. Thank you guys so much for just your kind words. But they do a lot of like contract work on the federal. And so he was saying that one of his coworkers needs to get the booster or even I'm not sure which ones he needed, but he knows that we always announce that. So what is the info for that, Jay? Do you have where people can go get vaxxed or boosted?
Yeah, so if they want to, honestly, easiest thing they can do is just go to tinyurl.com/VAXGuam, VaxGuam. That's if you want to make an appointment at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. And because of the shortened week, because of New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day, obviously Friday and Saturday respectively, you can make an appointment. That is the very best way to do it because, again, we saw a little bit of a bump, and Daniel even reported, we got an article on KUM.com about test numbers going up. Please try and get out there and just do it. I mean, it's the smart thing to do. You know, we have no idea what Christmas is, you know, the impacts of Christmas, let's call it, is gonna happen. But if you want to go to either the northern or southern regional medical centers, you can go to tinyurl.com/COVID-stops-with-me. So thank you guys for taking care of our community. I'm sorry, just real quick though, we were mentioning your lovely associate Maria a second ago. Do you mind if I ask, how was her first semester of med school?
Nice, very good. Yeah.
She's going to be a fantastic physician.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Very, very talented.
6:36. Thank you for that, Jay. It's Tuesday, December 28, 2021. We'll go ahead and get into the news. But we did have a comment here about fireworks, and there was a release that came out here December 27th. This is yesterday. News. Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration to host New Year's Eve fireworks show at Hagåtña Bay. I guess the governor and lieutenant governor are hosting the fireworks show. They invite the island community to enjoy the New Year's Eve fireworks display at Hagåtña Bay. The 10-minute fireworks show launches midnight, December 31st, 2021, and can be viewed anywhere in Hagåtña. There's a quote here. We are happy to illuminate our skies with the same hopeful spark. Oh, God. We have in our hearts for a brighter year ahead. Who writes this stuff? Are you serious? They need 2 COVID pins. Whoever wrote this. Give them 3, like a general, a COVID general. I'm going to get into this pin stuff a little bit later, guys. This time a year ago, social gatherings were limited to 5 people. Thank you for that. And for the first time, the pandemic forced us to cancel our annual fireworks show. The return of this tradition is a celebration of our people's progress. Then LT Josh got into, as we turn another year, we want to remind everyone to continue doing what's necessary to protect those we love, to include practicing the 3 W's and getting vaxxed or boosted. With these sustained measures and our community's caring nature, we're optimistic that our island will welcome a better year despite the challenges in front of us. Residents are also encouraged to take advantage of the ongoing Electric Winter Wonderland Holiday Light Show at Skinner Plaza in Agotnia, which continues through January 8th. Special light shows will be featured in 30-minute intervals every Thursday to Sunday from 6:30 to 9:30. There you go.
So it continues past Three Kings, which we now know.
Yeah, and
Thanks
actually,
to Polly Mike.
we had Polly Mike on yesterday, and he said technically that Christmas lasts until
The 6th.
no February. Remember?
Oh, February, yeah.
He said there's some presentation. So technically, if you didn't get us a Christmas, you still have until February. You might as well do like a combo Christmas Valentine's Day kind of thing. New Year's Eve fireworks show is presented by the Office of the Governor of Guam. The Guam Museum Foundation, GVB, Guam Economic Development Authority, PBS, Port Users Group, Matson, CTSI, a whole bunch of people at KUAM. Thank you. At 6:38.
Okay, real quick. They
Yes,
said that
midnight. I can't stay up till midnight. They need to do a Manonko one at 9
Yeah,
9
not when you work on this show.
Yeah.
What time do you go to sleep to work for this? If I'm awake past 7 p.m. these days and everything,
What?
that's a long night.
Wow, I would
Yeah.
love to go to bed at 7. This whole like 8 hours of sleep. I saw something with Steve Harvey. It kind of resonated with me. My mom's always watching these TikToks, and there's one with Steve Harvey, and he was like, they're telling you to sleep 8 hours a day, and he's like, what? Why would you spend 1/3 of your life asleep? He was like, people are making money moves while you're asleep. Your future was waiting, and it called, but guess what? You was asleep. So I was like, okay, I guess I don't need 8 hours of sleep anymore. So I'm happy with like 5 to 6. You know what I mean? And then I'll catch up a nap sometime in the weekend. So I usually try and go to sleep, Jay. Try by 10, fail pretty much every night.
Well, see, I go to sleep at 7. I get up at 2. So I'm not getting. I'm getting maybe like 6.5.
So you're already. That's why you've got so much energy. It's because you've been awake.
Yeah.
Like this is like your lunchtime. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll crash like 10:30, maybe 11 sometimes, and then I get up at 3.
Then you hit the gym.
3:20, 3:15, 3:30.
And then you go over here.
And then I go to the gym, and then I shower, and then I come in to work and say good morning to you guys.
Okay, real quick though, I was going to ask. They said that release said that the fireworks show is going to be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you like the really long, like, we got a half hour's worth of, like, this wonderful fireworks extravaganza like they used to have on, like, July 4th or Liberation Day? Or do you like the more compressed, like, it's only going to be, we got a 10-minute show. I like the shorter ones. I mean, maybe that's just me because I've seen so many fireworks shows, like, over the years and everything like that. I like
10 minutes is pretty short.
I like it short and sweet. Get right to the big part. Don't give me, like, 15 minutes of,
You don't want the, like, You
No, I
want
don't
want it all to be like
like the little sparklers and the crescendo and everything like that. It's like, dude.
I mean, this
go all out, go bigger. And again, now we're back to big.
I don't
chili.
know. I just feel like after the years we've been through, bro, we need more than 10 minutes. I'm like 10 days of fireworks.
I'm willing to wait for the drone show on next Liberation Day because this year's own was badass.
Jun Tammy says good Tuesday morning to everyone. And then Elizabeth Agagi is talking about airlines canceling flights because short of employees, right? Frank the Crank's also joining us. Sleep is a superpower.
Hey, Prim. Frank,
good morning, Link
morning.
fam. It is. I feel great when I get a lot of sleep. But I think it works for me. I get my 5 to 6, and then I catch up on the weekend, get like a good 2-3 hour nap in, and I'm good.
See, I'm not like that. I'll actually try and get like consistent amount of sleep 7 days a week.
Right, yeah.
I don't do the catch-up thing.
I'm just realistic, bro. It's not going to happen. So, hey, it's Tuesday, December 28, 2021. Pacific Points presents our first look at news on the link. Good morning. Thank you, guys. Facebook Live and, of course, on the Breeze 93.9. Let's go ahead and get right into it. For Sabrina Salas-Matanani from the KUAM News team. Good morning, Jason Salas.
All right, good morning. Tally ho, Guam. Here is your news on this Tuesday morning. There are now, as we were mentioning earlier on, 9 of your fellow Guamanians that are hospitalized for COVID-19, so please offer your prayers for them. 1 person is in the ICU and 1 is on a ventilator. Of those patients, 6 have already received the vaccine and 3 are unvaccinated. There was a total of 26 new positive cases of more than 900 samples gathered over the extended holiday weekend. So that includes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and yesterday, Monday. The CAR score has increased again by 1/10 of a point. It was 1.0 yesterday, 1.1 this morning. From the central part of the island, the Tamuning-Tumon-Harmon Mayor's Office will host a town meeting with the Guam Police Department tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the Tamuning Community Senior Center. Personnel from Guam Police will be on hand to answer questions that residents in those villages may have regarding the Neighborhood Crime Watch and other tips on safety. For more information, of course, you can contact Mayor Louise Rivera. Her number is 480-4440, 480-4440 for Mayor Louise if you would like to attend or give your comment on the Tatuha Guam Crime Watch program. Let's go back to the newsroom now. Isaiah Uggan is standing by, and he has more island headlines with your morning link up.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Hafide and good morning, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan with your headlines here on the link. As much as $31 million in overpayments were made for the now concluded Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, and the Guam Labor Department is still working on a plan to get the claimants to pay the money back. KUAM's Nestor Lecanto reports.
Labor Director David De La Sola says it may sound like a lot, but the 3.8% overpayment is relatively small compared to the states, which averaged more than 20%.
So out of the 31 million, we've collected 5 million. People came forward and paid. And I, myself, waived $2.6 million for those who filed a waiver. So moving forward, 23 million is what is left to collect. Sounds like a large number, but when you give out 808 million, that's not much.
But De La Sola says they're still waiting on more guidance from USDOL because unlike most states, Guam does not have an unemployment insurance program and has no mechanisms for collection.
Because remember, states have a UI system. They melt that right into the UI system and they can collect over future UI benefits or other ways because they have a system in place.
He says even USDOL is still figuring out how the local labor department will handle collections.
We're not sure how we're going to move forward with this. All I know is that USDOL has given us instructions that they do want us to do our due diligence and collect. So I'm not looking forward to that part.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Heading into the new year, there is one thing that will remain the same. The presence of COVID-19, the vaccination clinic at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse continues to administer the shots to those that want and need it. KUAM's Daniel Perez reports.
Even after Christmas, residents continue to get their vaccines and boosters to better protect themselves. Barragata resident J.D. Alexo got her booster along with her grandmother.
Originally it was for my grandma, but when I found out that we could do walk-in, I just went ahead and did it. I have health issues of my own, so I just feel like it's best to just do it. My mom wanted us to do it one at a time just to see the effect that it had on everybody, but I told her we'll just do it together.
When asked why she decided to get the booster after Christmas,
me and my family were hoping to take a trip in the summer, so that's one reason why I feel it's best to try to do it. And number two, there's not a lot of people here, so there's not so much anxiety of being around so many people lining up to get any kind of vaccines, whether it be their first, second, or booster.
To residents who haven't gotten the vaccine or booster, Alicto had this to say.
If it's for you, man, get your booster shots. If you have family with underlying health conditions, get vaccinated. I know a lot of people are against vaccinations, but, for the safety of everybody, yourself and your family, it's probably a good idea to do so.
Captain Denise Chargaloff of the Guam Guard shares the same sentiment.
Right now we're still open from this week from 11 to 7, so it gives people a lot of time before work, during lunch, after work to come on out. If you haven't had time lately just because of your work schedule, this week is a perfect opportunity to do so.
The UOG vaccination clinic will be open until December 30th. Walk-ins welcome, but appointments will be prioritized. To schedule your appointment, go to tinyurl.com/vaxguam. Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
Meanwhile, a bill to increase the number of CCTV cameras in public parks is making its way through the legislature. The measure would provide tax incentives for private businesses to fund the purchase and installation of video equipment. Here's more.
The Humatak vandalism incident shines more focus on legislation by Senator Jim Moylan meant to fast-track the installation of video surveillance equipment at public parks and schools by allowing private businesses to get involved.
It allows for the total of 5 years, $1 million of incentives through a qualifying certificate. Each year is $200,000 max. So this is not a big hit on the general fund, and nor is this a tax break. It's basically a tax credit.
Under the bill, the Guam Economic Development Authority would handle company tax credit applications. Meanwhile, Moylan says there's already a law in place that addresses an implementation plan. It requires government enforcement agencies to determine equipment specifications and procedures.
This Bill 23436 complements a public law 3341 that was written by Senator Tommy Morrison, who is from Umatic, whose mother was the former mayor of Umatic, that originally discussed using cameras to help the villages and the police departments and the mayors prevent crime and deter crime and also catch criminals.
He says a public hearing date for the bill has not yet been set, but hopes the disturbing vandalism at the historic Humatak Overlook will help speed up the process. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KUAM News Prime Time.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Harrowing headlines as we reported yesterday. As Saipan has suffered 4 deaths related to coronavirus in as many days, health officials up in the NMI are preparing for a possible surge driven by the Delta variant as concerns over the Omicron variant loom on this ongoing holiday season. Here's Tomas with the latest.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought tremendous grief to the families.
The CNMI is suffering 4 deaths since Christmas, entering the 9th week of Saipan's first surge.
We are currently at 93.44% of our eligible population being fully vaccinated, but this still leaves a lot of unvaccinated folks susceptible to this disease.
Saipan nearing 3,000 cases as 3/4 of hospital admissions due to COVID are unvaccinated. With an expected spike driven by holiday gatherings, health officials say more treatment for COVID is on the way, but it is not a substitute for the vaccine.
And for some of you that took, had a hard time deciding on getting vaccinated, I am pleading with you to please look at if you're qualified to get your booster shots as well.
Over 30% of people who are eligible receive their booster shot.
The hope is that as increasing number of people get vaccinated, we will be able to temper any surge from a new variant.
Tomas Manglotnya for KUAM News.
Let's go back to Guam news now. As in court, closing arguments were held yesterday for the man accused of raping and impregnating an 11-year-old back in 2018. Tyler Matanani has details.
Closing arguments were held today in Superior Court for 41-year-old Renex Riosin. Riosin faces first-degree criminal sexual conduct for allegedly raping and impregnating an 11-year-old. During the hearing, Assistant Attorney General Sean Brown told the jury that the victim may have looked like a grown woman when she gave her testimony. He then showed the jury an old holiday photo, reminding them that she was just a child when the alleged incident occurred. Quote, "These things didn't happen to a 15-year-old girl. It happened to a 12-year-old girl," said Brown. He recalled the victim's testimony, stating that she experienced the abuse for several years between the ages of 6 to 11 and became pregnant at 12. He further addressed questions the jury may have had about the timeliness of the report, to which Brown reminded them that the defendant told the victim not to tell her mom. The complaint was made by a middle school in central Guam in May of 2019. The alleged rape occurred in November or December of 2018, according to the magistrate's complaint. The victim told police she had just returned from school when she saw Riosin with some friends outside her apartment. According to the report, she drank a glass of what appeared to be water and that it tasted sweet like there was sugar in it. Soon after, she fell asleep and woke up several hours later with her shorts to her knees and felt pain in her genital area. In April of 2019, Riosin approached the victim and told her he was the one that did that to her. According to court documents, she took the statement to mean that he had sexual intercourse with her and that he was the one that made her pregnant. He has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Thanks so much, Ty. In other news, the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is gearing up for the expected hit of increased calls to the 24/7 crisis hotline. Again, if you need any help from Jibwick, the number to call, as always, we've been mentioning on this show for over a year, 647-8833. That's 647-8833. And as the crisis hotline is expected with an uptick in the volume of calls they get because of the holiday season, here's more on this story.
COVID-19 cases on the island weren't the only thing that reduced in the last few weeks, but the amount of calls into the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's 24/7 crisis hotline has also decreased. That's according to GBHWC Director Therese Areola. Behavioral Health reported 1,028 calls in September, 917 in October, and 570 in November. In a recent interview with KUAM News, Areola shared the number of calls made in December so far, noting a dip in calls.
And now that we're in December, the week before Christmas, we are tracking at 286 as of yesterday. So you can tell that as the community is less stressed out about the pandemic, the number of people who actually call the crisis hotline has also reduced.
Pre-COVID, Behavioral Health received an estimated 30 calls per month. Areola attributes the drop in calls to lower COVID cases reported on Guam.
And as you can see, it keeps going down, but that is also because the community was getting healthier. We're seeing herd immunity. As the community get herd immunity, there's less and less anxiety. And so we're really happy about that.
Meanwhile, the holidays are filled with joy and positive energy. It is as well a time for friends and family to gather, celebrate, and reflect on our many blessings. But due to the COVID pandemic, the community was restricted from doing so in the last 2 years, forcing many to be alone. Now that the holiday season is amongst us, Areola says GBHWC is bracing for the anticipation of an influx of calls in the coming weeks.
So now that the holidays is around us, this week and next week, and probably the next two and a half weeks, we do expect people to be calling. And because the holidays brings about a lot of loneliness and depression, and people who are not able to be with family. And so we are ready for it.
Areola explained the top 3 reasons why people use their crisis hotline services.
Whatever caused them, whether it's the holiday season or COVID, they use the hotline. And the top 3 concerns are still depression, anxiety, and loneliness now. So, and loneliness is probably due to the holiday season.
For those dealing with the holiday blues, Areola shared this message.
Remember always 647-8833 and know that you're not alone. We're here to help you, and we're here to get you through whatever crisis and hurdles you may be experiencing during this holiday season.
Isaiah reporting once again. Good job, Izzy. Elsewhere in our rundown this morning, a youth program aimed at celebrating the gift of giving back to the island community. Jonah Gonchafres has more on the Guam Police Department's Project U.
It's a free 8-day program that was offered to youth over Christmas break. Project U is spearheaded by the Guam Police Department and is focused on fun activities geared towards the betterment of the island community. Last week, participants took part in a handful of restoration projects, such as the repainting of one of the bus stops in Tizan. GPD PO3 Eric Asanoma, who is part of the Juvenile Investigation Section, is overseeing the program.
This is one of the projects that was sponsored specifically by GPD. It's a project we decided to take on. We pass by here kind of often as on our way to the office, and we see that this one of the bus stops that kind of has not been adopted because it's right here next to one of our really supportive sponsors, the GCA Trades Academy. They allowed us to go in and adopt this and do our restoration project.
Another activity the 15 participants took part in was spearheaded by one of Project U's partners, Department of Youth Affairs, DYA Community Program Aide 2, John Castillo.
We cleaned up the Harmon Sports Complex. We picked up trash in the entire area. And today we are painting the stalls here at the post site. The DPR director really appreciated everything that they did. So already today, before we started, I had passed on that message to them, and they feel like self-ownership of taking part in their community and keeping their community clean.
The biggest takeaway for the participants is the incredible mentorship, as Sonoma encourages everybody to fill out a registration packet for future programs.
Don't dismiss it. Try it out, and I'm pretty sure that your kids would love to come here. The youth to officer, the wall is not really there, so the program has allowed us to create a little bit of a stronger bond and to reach out to the youth that participated here. Their minds are turning, and the kids are looking up towards their mentors, and they're really open to asking questions that show their interest in what they want to become later in life.
The program wraps up on Thursday. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
And now we bring in Uncle King Conception with your morning news in Chamorro. Sponsored, of course, by our friends at First Hawaiian Bank.
Buenas tardes to get some to be finut sa morning ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familiar Mito gi First Hawaiian Bank. Mientras mapapapray binaba ni Senior Center siya, gidiades gi Enero, imahot siya. Sa matsatsugi todo na siya niya para manatungi manamko pri programan sentada. Imahot piti sa presente ni Mayor's Council si Jesse Alec asangani KUAM News. Nadya na programa ni para ma-entrega na kanu siya para manamko gigumaniya sa pamanapara. Adji siya man malago no fanyaga gigumaniya sa debut matatijo oto na klaseng programa para makontinue man ma-entrega isentada guato giza siya. Para mababay Senior Center siya, gidiades gi Enero, lugaha siya guihin na lugar gi i-center, tisina manasat pitrabia, tagui kusina sa nisagan exercise asat ki ma-establisa masa reglamento. Para mas informasyon, agang yung division ni Senior Citizens Departamento de Salud Público, dan Submission Social, gi 671, 735, 7415, 7421. Mas asunto, izatisan na sagan mamantes para COVID-19 sa mababa panguna semana para di siya malago malmates. Kanan dispasyon na yun ni test siya gi manmapos na semana, no ginigan na dia lamig man matugato para falmates. Yurin po di KUAM man manabisoy public health na kulan malangos na nintetemo antes pa dispersi holidays, ano san mates para nos kapadya man not mino i COVID-19. Para mababa izatisan esta dia 28 gi Disyembre desde las 8 hasta las 11 gi agaan. Ites para finena na matu finena na masadbi na manera. Mga malefan ito mo ID card gin ni COVID-19. Yuto mo na sunto para pago na matis gin ni KUAM News gifinut sa Moro, i-highway safety na opisina ni Department of Public Works sa paramamento sinisede na edukasyon. Pati ato na sinisede gizon na campaign kadasakan no drive sober and get pulled over. Distidiakin sige Disyembre, estadia 1 gi Enero 2022, i-DPW OHS zani manggatsang niya para i-seguridad italan sa profandan niya para maadzuday rinabahan ng numero ng aksidenteng kareta san finaitay sa Putsinigon, Bentas Bulatsu. Isinisedi sa para managwayang pamasyon san maopi masya hafa na kwestiyon na por seguridad italan gi Webes dia 30 gi Disyembre desde las 10 gi Egan hasta las 2 gi Taloani gi Center Core gi Agana Shopping Center. Para Guam News Network, Gualsikin Conception. Yasuto gifinut sa Moro sa presenta sa ninafatto ni Familia Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, where you get smart insights into your finances so you can make smart decisions with your money. With a daily personalized feed, you can compare your monthly income to spending. That's better. Discover where your money is actually going. You might be surprised. See what's essential and what isn't. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
We all know that a healthy lifestyle is important to prevent chronic diseases and long-term illnesses and boost mental health. It's difficult to determine exactly which healthy habits are worth investing in to live longer and healthier lives. But FHP is here to help. Tune into The Link every Tuesday for FHP Hafa Health Tips, brought to you by Take Care. Helpful advice about healthy lifestyle choices that will have a big difference in your health from the medical experts at FHP Clinic. FHP Hafa Health Tips on The Link every Tuesday is brought to you by Take Care. Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows.
The Culture Club returns to KUM Digital and KUM News Weekend Edition, highlighting Guam's young artists, activists, and crafters as they work to protect, preserve, and promote our Tomoto culture. Watch this weekly feature on the digital platforms of KUM News Weekend Edition, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.
See what's on TV tonight with schedules, network news and notes, local promotions and giveaways on KUAM Communications social media pages. Like and follow us on Facebook or Instagram now for all the latest and never miss out.
I didn't get screened because I was just afraid of it.
I procrastinated.
I didn't have any symptoms.
I didn't have insurance.
I didn't want to know.
There were several services that was available to me.
I got a mammogram.
Colonoscopy.
I know in my heart that early detection saved my life.
And I just tell people all the time, please go get screened.
Here on Breeze 93.9 FM.
back to The Link, everybody. You are hanging with Chris, Jace, and Joser on a lovely Tuesday morning. We want to tell you about vaccination opportunities. Please, everybody, let's stay in the fight. If you've gotten the first or second vaccine shot already, please get your booster. Let's stay on top of this thing. Let's keep our community safe. If you haven't gotten in the fight just yet, that's totally cool. All are welcome. Please get your vaccine. You can visit tinyurl.com/VAXGuam to make an appointment. Even with this shortened holiday week, you can go and make an appointment at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Of course, they're in Manila. Or if you'd like to go somewhere which is more regionally closer to you, you can go up here in Dedido or down in beautiful Inalahan. Just check out tinyurl.com/COVID stops with me. Thank you from all of us here on The Link for taking care of yourself and us.
Thank you. Hey, let's go ahead and give you the new episode of Pacific Matters from Tomas Maglotnia as he takes a look back at some of the stories tracing the path to the impeachment process of CNMI Governor Ralph Torres, currently underway in Saipan. And Tomas will have a live update later on the show. But in the meantime, again, it's the new episode of Pacific Matters right here on The Link. Good morning.
Welcome to another episode of Pacific Matters, and on this episode we take a closer look at our reporting from the last year into the investigations of Governor Ralph Torres and how we got to this year on the introduction of a resolution calling for his impeachment. In our first story, we report on the CNMI legislature's probe in July 2020. CNMI Speaker BJ Ataw establishing a bipartisan special committee on fiscal review of executive expenditures. The legislature narrowing in on questionable spending throughout the Torres administration.
And also to give the governor an opportunity, give him an avenue to clear his name. If these accusations are wrong, then they're wrong.
The accusations related to alleged abuse of funds indicated in documents obtained through the Open Government Act request from the minority to the Secretary of Finance. The Committee on Ways and Means also passing on information.
That we're going to do the things the right way the first time. We shouldn't rush stuff like this. We should take our time and make sure that we have all the proper information.
Congresswoman Tina Sablan says their inquiry started in October, raising several issues.
The first-class travel, which is explicitly prohibited in the law, to be funded by the government, that was one of the big concerns. But also there are questions about the governor's reimbursement for certain types of expenditures that really seem to be either for personal or political purposes.
The news comes amid budget hearings and separate oversight by the Special Committee on Federal Assistance and Disaster-Related Funding. Representative Ralph Yumel chairs both panels.
When a complaint is brought up, the House is in charge of the purse, so we're going to have to do our job and look at it, whether it's justified or not.
The governor's press secretary, Kevin Bautista, responded to the developments.
The composition of the committee seems also implicitly very targeting. If we're going to be completely honest with you, at the end of the day, and this is what we talked about as a staff, here in the governor's office and the administration, we have no luxury to play gotcha or do politics in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of an economic shortfall.
Just a day after that report, CNMI Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios and Secretary of Finance David Atalig weighed in on the formation of that special committee. Press briefing this morning, CNMI Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios commenting on the establishment of a House Special Committee on fiscal review of executive expenditures this week.
Today, I think, I hope that we're fair and reasonable to each other, at least to the governor too. The committee also needs to take a look at whatever it needs to take a look at. I believe it needs to take a look at.
The governor's press secretary, Kevin Bautista, told KUAM yesterday that they've been transparent.
We know public funds are something that needs to be properly accounted for. And the Department of Finance has done everything it can to show those documents and work with the legislature.
Those public records of spending dating back to 2014. Secretary of Finance David Atalig says he has no comment on actions prior to his first day on the job in April last year.
Should the oversight happen regarding the governor's expense, I'm happy to represent the finance department, and should there be some expenses that shouldn't have been approved or didn't follow some procedures, I'm willing to make those changes to ensure that that don't be repeated.
A few weeks later, in July 2020, a House panel sets deadlines for documents requested from agencies.
So two things going on right now. Our legal counsel is drafting the words in the subpoena, and there's some technicalities that needs to go through before we go through that process. As far as what was requested by the minorities 7 months ago, I'm still waiting for that list.
House Special Committee on Fiscal Review of Executive Expenditures Chair Ralph Umel says the first deadline for its members is tomorrow.
The other committee, we had no problems requesting for information, so it's just precautionary, I guess. Should they decide, because we are actually investigating the expenditure of the executive branch. It might be different in this case, and that's what we're preparing right now.
Representative Tina Sablon says tomorrow's deadline is to provide in the subpoena a list of documents that are still pending from the Department of Finance.
That would include missing travel records from the governor, redacted records including the credit card numbers that were used for some of the governor's reimbursements. We counted at least 17, possibly up to 20, maybe even more. And as well as the personnel records and some of the missing notice of personnel actions for the executive security detail.
She says public pressure is also mounting.
We have been asked by our constituents, concerns have been raised about these expenditures by the governor, and it is our job to investigate, and that's what we're doing.
We'll be right back with our reporting on the path to the impeachment resolution. Welcome back. And after countless months of hearings by the JGO committee, finally they heard from Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios himself.
I never thought that when I took oath of office, the oath of office as the Lieutenant Governor, that I would find myself in this position, having to respond to a subpoena to appear before this committee.
The Lieutenant Governor choosing to testify without counsel in the months-long probe by legislators into Governor Ralph Torres' alleged misuse of funds and corruption.
The matters before this committee are public matters, not private matters. And that is all we seek is the truth from you.
The committee is probing into the spending, reimbursements, first-class travel, and use of security detail by Governor Torres and First Lady Diane Torres. They've questioned police officers and personnel in recent months who've often said they do not recall events outlined by the committee based on documents that paint a clearer picture, one that Palacios recalls.
When you did become aware that he was traveling first class at government expense, you did raise the issue.
I did raise that a couple of times.
Do you remember when?
Like I said, early on in our tenure.
The records show that Governor Torres claimed reimbursements for a car battery for a personal vehicle that was shortly sold thereafter to a private citizen. Would you consider this to be a legitimate public purpose expense?
No.
Under the same branch of government, it's as if Torres and Palacios served in different administrations.
Do you get the same treatment as Governor Torres by DPS Commissioner Robert Guerrero, wherein the DPS Commissioner will meet the governor on the tarmac as soon as he steps off a plane and escorts him out a chain link fence without even having to go through the secured area to clear customs and quarantine? Do you get the same treatment as Governor Torres by DPS Commissioner Robert Guerrero?
No, I don't.
Fair enough.
And I refuse.
Okay.
Somebody had made that recommendation early on in our tenure, and I said no.
The records reviewed also show that Governor Torres utilized DPS boating safety resources, including search and rescue boats, multiple boating safety officers, thousands of gallons of government-funded fuel,
on more than 85 boating trips, totaling hundreds of hours between March 2017 and July 2020. These include trips to Rota, Tinian, Guam, Managaha, Goat Island, and the Northern Islands. Many of these vessel usage reports indicate no particular destination, but we do know from the testimonies we've heard so far that some of the governor's boating trips were for recreational fishing in open water. Some of the trips appear to be sunset cruises or happy hour trips to Managaha with the First Lady and other individuals. In your view, Lieutenant Governor, are these improper uses of government resources, police officers, police boats, government fuel, and other publicly funded supplies?
On the face of it, yes.
In a press briefing last week, Governor Torres told KUAM that there's still confidence between the two under his administration. And not long after pressure mounted, CNMI Governor Ralph Torres took to Facebook in a video series defending his actions. CNMI Governor Ralph Torres taking to Facebook with his second video in a series responding to the allegations by the House committee investigating him. This time he comments on several boating trips called into question. One trip in particular was to the Northern Islands with content creator Rob Arrington behind the YouTube channel Deer Meat for Dinner.
This is just an additional program that we brought up Deer Meat for Dinner up to the Northern Islands. Seriously, and to promote the Northern Islands. This is something for all of us to be proud of.
He says the government boats were used to provide safety.
Deer Meat for Dinner was not compensated and has not been compensated by the CNMI government. All he asked was to be brought up to the Northern Island. That's it. And we spent less than $70,000 to accommodate him, while he spent over $100,000 of his own money to bring his crew, his family, equipment, and so forth.
He says no federal programs took issue, and the mayor of the Northern Island supported the trip. But what about trips alleged to be recreational to Managaha, Tinian, and Rota?
I have not once ever used any federal funding vessel, DPS vessel, for any recreation purposes. I've never fished on them. Absolutely no party boats, Gary, and it is protection for the family.
He says he's never asked for boating safety for protection, but when he does take his personal boat off island or for fishing, they're there in case of an emergency. But what about his family?
The CNMI law provides safety for my family. Using the boat is for safety reasons.
And we'll be right back with more on the path to the impeachment resolution. On December 14, the investigative committee found CNMI Governor Ralph Torres in contempt, and Governor Ralph Torres says they were on a witch hunt.
All 7 members voted to hold Governor Ralph De Leon Guerrero Torres in contempt of a lawfully served subpoena on himself.
The House committee investigating the governor taking action for his no-show last Friday. The governor this morning made clear he isn't backing down.
Their agenda is simple. The House JGO committee wants to impeach a governor who was elected by the people. But who do they not like? I will not be attending the House JGO committee hearing because the executive branch is a separate and equal branch of government under the Commonwealth Constitution and must be treated equally to the legislative branch.
Torres taking to Facebook in a series of videos explaining his side of the story, while it appears both sides have had enough.
If the governor had come in to testify under oath today, we would have asked him to explain his actions. We would have asked him to explain his spending of public funds. We would have asked him to address what appears to be a pattern of wasteful and extravagant abuse of government resources.
Chair Selena Babauta says the decision did not come lightly.
For months, Governor Torres has been longing, yearning to clear his name. But when the time came to feature his testimony, he was a no-show. He rejected being put under oath to provide any explanation or responses to the JGO inquiries. This was his opportunity, and he blew it.
Now, a potential legal battle between the two branches of government hangs in the balance.
I do this to protect not only the rights as governor, but to protect the institution of governor under the Constitution, and thus protect future governors from arbitrary overreach by future legislatures.
And not long after that, on December 20th, the resolution calling for his impeachment was introduced by Representative Selena Babauta.
Parabehu introduce House Resolution 22-14, impeaching Ralph De Leon Guerrero Torres, Governor of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, pursuant to Article 2, Section 8 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth for commission of felonies, corruption, and neglect of duty.
The resolution calling for the impeachment of Governor Torres was formally introduced in a House session Monday morning.
I will be creating a special committee on impeachment, and we'll be appointing members. A memo will be coming out at a later date.
The resolution, pre-filed by Babauta on Friday, was backed by at least 12 other lawmakers out of the 20-member body. When it comes to an eventual vote, impeachment would require 14 of them. It faces a narrow battle in the Senate, who would hold a hearing and could vote to convict. Some residents speaking out.
The governor got away with his crimes because he was protected by a code of loyalty and silence of the AG in the legislature and even the lieutenant governor, making this committee the people's best hope for justice.
Will you amend these articles to include previous governors and lieutenant governors who have done the same? If it's true that the Lieutenant Governor Palacios, as other lieutenant governors may have done, signed the travel authorization for Governor Torres, that he too, Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, be held in violation for approving that TA? Or is it just Ralph De Leon Guerrero Torres?
And we'll be right back with some of the latest developments as the year ends. Welcome back. In these next two stories, we hear from Governor Ralph Torres, who says he isn't backing down, and we sit down with the legislators who say they aren't either. Last night, more than a dozen demonstrators took to the streets on Saipan, calling for the impeachment of Governor Ralph Torres. This morning, we asked Torres if he denies old charges and if he's innocent.
Of course, absolutely.
He says he wants to put the issue to rest, but the wheels are in motion at the legislature. It's likely that 2/3 or 14 members of the House will vote to impeach the governor in the coming weeks or months.
I'm very confident that at the end of the day, if they have the numbers for the House, I'm sure that in the Senate, I will be given the fair approach, and I'm confident that that proceeding will not go further.
On Monday, House Speaker Edmund Villagomez announced that he will form a special committee on impeachment. Torres requested that lawmakers appointed to that committee aren't biased and don't have complaints of their own.
Tina Sablan, for example, she's running for governor. So politically already, she has a motive to make sure that she'll try everything she can to remove me, because that's one less opponent on her. And I'm just saying facts again.
Those facts, in black and white, paint a different picture for each party.
At the end of the day, when it comes to policy decisions, right, it's a numbers game. And he sees the numbers, and, we could have railroaded it, but I didn't want to go that way.
House Speaker Edmund Villagomez formed a 9-member bipartisan special investigating committee on impeachment to deliberate on the resolution backed by at least 13 lawmakers, one shy of the 14 votes the House would need to impeach Governor Ralph Torres.
There's people out there that want to see this like expedited, and then there are some that agree with the process. So I feel that this is the fair way to go.
The committee has 30 days to take action, which could include a vote by all 20 lawmakers as soon as mid-January. It comes after months of hearings by the Judiciary and Governmental Operations Committee.
We wouldn't necessarily be doing everything over again because we have all the documents, all the exhibits. I believe this is a fair committee composition.
However, the governor might not agree. Torres called out Representative Tina Sablan, a Democrat running for governor, saying she shouldn't be a member. She is now and says it isn't out of bounds.
Let me start by being very clear. I do support impeachment. I signed that resolution and I will be voting yes when it gets to the floor. And I came to this conclusion after nearly 2 years of reviewing thousands upon thousands of pages of the governor's own records of expenditures.
A historic test of checks and balances in a battle for power.
The governor does not control the legislature. He doesn't get to decide who should be involved and who should not be involved. It's not up to him to determine the terms of his own investigation and impeachment. This is a legislative process.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pacific Matters. We'll see you right here in the new year.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore the Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instaguam today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau's #Instaguam photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Attention basketball fans, the wait is over. Clutch Guam presents the 2nd annual McDonald's High School Basketball Classic, going down December 20th to January 8th at the Father Dueñas Jungle. Make sure you come through to watch some high school boys and girls varsity division action. You do not want to miss out. Special thanks going out to KUAM Sports. We'll see you there.
We know you're tired of hearing about COVID-19. Some of you are probably wondering whether this is ever going to end. However long it takes, we all have to do our part, including our children, to hold the line. You can protect yourself and your family by getting vaccinated.
And if you're already vaccinated, don't let your guard down because you can still give and get COVID-19. And if you're not vaccinated, remember that if you catch the virus, you could suffer more severe complications. At the end of the day, it's the choices we make to protect ourselves, our families, and our community that will control the spread.
We know it sounds repetitive at this point, but again, wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask.
Together, we have to hold the line.
Only in the sky, taste the tuba, gum in my eyes, country road. Yeehaw! Take me home to the place.
You gotta live it up now because with this Omicron on the way, if Dr. Hoa Wen texts me, get ready for January 2022, I get nervous. I don't do well when I'm nervous. We're laughing now, Doc. Laughing now.
I know. We gotta enjoy the moment, guys.
Yep, that's it. Live in the moment, Doc. So
Enjoy the moments.
Dr. Hoa Wen is coming to us all the way live from Pensacola, Florida, sunny Florida. Doc, wow.
It's beautiful. It's very nice and sunny and 65 degrees, so it's very good.
Wow, that's like a little bit of aircon, but in the sunshine. Well, it's pretty nice and sunny there. But what's the situation with the COVID? Dark?
Yeah, the COVID in the state going crazy. I think that 95+% now. Everything else is that they have here is Omicron, and we fully expected to maybe arrive in Guam sometime in January. If I don't think Omicron is there yet because once it's there, we most likely will see the number come up to 100 in about within a week or so. They're very, very infectious here. So I say that during the holiday, especially Christmas and New Year, the gatherings, our people have to be very, very particular and very take a lot of step to avoid large gathering with people that with outside the immediate family. Because I tell you, once it will hit a lot of people. Fully vaccinated, but not boosted, will most likely will be positive also. So we fully vaccinated, they really have to be careful on what they do. They will get infected. So doesn't mean that you fully vaccinated that you can drop all your guard. So I encourage people in Guam to be careful, and also that I hope that public health have some well planned together and how to approach the Omicron based on the last surge with the Delta, because this one will more likely result in a lot more positive in the community. So we really have to ramp up the testing. I think that Tijan will be the only site will be a problem. They need to have more testing site than just Tijan. Just because we're going to have a lot more people lined up to be tested. Right now in the state, testing is a big problem. There's testing usually wait anywhere from 2 to 7 hours to get tested. And people cannot buy the home test kit here anymore just because they all are gone. So I think public health need to stand up a lot more testing site in January, February in order to deal with the Omicron. And they should have a clear message of how to isolate and quarantine once you test positive. So that's something we have to deal with. Just like in the state, there's a lot of labor shortage now just because so many people turn positive. So workplace employer have to kind of modify their business in order to deal with the positive in their business. So that's something that even in our clinic, we will have to plan ahead of time, because I'm sure that some of our staff will turn positive, and if we need to curtail the service, we really have to. So that's something that business have to plan ahead of time for the Omicron.
Doc, you keep saying the P word, plan ahead of time. We haven't heard anything from public health about any type of plan that they're doing for the Omicron variant. And meanwhile, when you talk about gatherings and not hanging out with people within your immediate family, I mean, Sus Maria will say, it's the holidays. Of course we're gathering with people who came from the States, didn't go through quarantine, you know what I mean? Or maybe 1 shot vax, 2 shot, not boosted, whatever. So, I don't know, it seems kind of ripe for a surge type situation, Doc. And it's, it's a little...
I think that before I left, we already see some few people come from the state that test positive as they land in Guam. So that's why the message is that you have family member that come from the state, just go out there and get them tested, just to be sure. I think that's something that you need to do to protect your family, because you never know. There's a lot of cancellation here of the family gathering, and for people I know here in Florida and Louisiana, just because there's so many Omicron positive around that. Even our family, we cancel the annual get together just because there's a few people that turn positive. And the dangerous part about it is that some of them are asymptomatic, but they still can transmit the virus. So, like I say, I mean, go out there and get tested. If you're going to have a family get together, I think public health, they still have testing site at the TGen during a certain day. Go out there and get tested within 24 hours before your gathering, just to let you know that, hey, I'm negative. So at least you have taken an extra step to protect yourself and the family. So that's what I would rather do. Right now, I see the testing is very limited, like less than 200 tests a day, and that's a big concern that we have such a low turnout for testing. I would encourage people to go out there and get tested before your gathering, just so that way you ensure that it's safe for everyone in your party there.
We had a comment here from Rosemary. For months, the people have been asking for more testing sites, and public health has been saying for months they're in the planning stage. This is ridiculous that no plan has been implemented yet.
Yeah, I tell you, when Omicron hit, TGen alone won't suffice. You know, I mean, I tell you, it will be overwhelmed, and people are going to wait several hours to be tested. They should have multiple testing sites open so public can go out and get tested. And I tell you, that's what we learned from Delta. And this one is the severity so far is much less than Delta, but I'm telling you, it's very infectious, and we will break our record on this positive. I think last time we had like 236 or something. We will break the record in one day with Omicron.
Doc,
So-
I want to key into what you said there, and this is, I think, what the only thing people are taking away from this whole Omicron thing is the words less severe than Delta. And so I feel like people hear that and they just check out. You know what I mean? Oh, it's nothing to worry about.
No. You know, it's less severe, but remember, all of us have family members that have comorbidity, right? So it might be less severe for the young, healthy population, but when you have so much comorbidity, you're going to take the risk of end up in the hospital just because you have your immune system is not as well as other people. So yes, in the general population, when you're healthy, it's going to be much less severe. But we don't know, right? Our comorbidity in Guam is so high that you can see that with Delta, there's so many people that end up in the hospital, and we lost so many people already. So that's what the important people got to understand is that, yes, you can hear, you can read, you can do everything about severity of the illness of the virus. But again, with our population in Guam, it's yet to be seen. So we have to be very cautious, and it's never hurt to over plan and over cautious about something. Rather, when they get there and you're not planning and you don't take all the precaution, and we're going to lose more people. So, the only message I want to get across to people is that, hey, even you're fully vaccinated, Omicron will still going to infect you, and people that have previous Delta infection in the past few weeks, the past few months, Omicron will overrule that and infect you again. So it's very unique. So really, everyone had to be cautious about this thing, and also it's affect the children a lot more than Delta. So the children don't get much in trouble, but we cannot afford to lose one child.
Margaret Hattori Uchima. Good morning, Miss Margaret. Comments in here, Doc. Why risk it for our elders, our manamko, and those with diabetes, kidney failure, etc.? Let's play it safe and don't take Omicron lightly. Please, thanks, Dr.
Yes.
Hoa, for sharing your knowledge.
Yes, and I tell you, she hit the bullseye right there. I'm telling you, we need to have more planning out there, more education, a much more clear guideline for public health on isolation and contact tracing. Well, we have to put that in place, and very clearly, we often hear people have different instruction on isolation from different people from different area of public health, and there should be unanimously one sentence say you got to isolate it a certain day according to the guideline, and go get people tested. So we really need to get those guidelines out like as soon as possible. I cannot tell you enough that it's very urgently that we need to educate our people during the New Year celebration. I know it's a hamper and put everything negatively during the holiday, but we have to say something, right? Because it's coming, and we know it's coming, and I'm very sure January we're going to get hit.
Yeah, Doc, but how do we know that the current head of the Physicians Advisory Group, Dr. Berg, is not telling the governor, like, it's coming, yeah, but, we can't stop it. Might as well just let it come and get everywhere like they did with the Delta surge. I mean, because I guess that was his advice.
I know. Well, we lost more people than we can afford to lose in the last Delta surge. And everything we read, again, our population is different. There's no such thing as over-planned and over-cautious on this thing. We say we have a lot of elderly in our community. A lot of people have multiple comorbidity. We have to protect them. And like I say, it's a responsibility for everybody. So please, everyone, be safe during the holiday. And we really want to see much more tests per day rather than just a few hundred tests a day that I just saw in the past few days. Because you'd rather be tested the day that you have your gathering. That's the safest way to go into the holiday.
We had another comment. This is such a bullseye as well. Rosemary comments, the governor's statement on, quote, shuttering up for impending Omicron storm, but then she raises the social gathering to 100 people is a conflicting, disheartening message. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. Yeah, but it's like how many mouths you have that you're speaking out of at the same time.
Yeah, she's correct. Even in the big city like New York, they the New Year celebration, they cut it down quite a bit. I think they like 15,000 now, and they have to social distance there, and they have to be fully vaccinated, and they have to be masked. So I think that for us to have a large gathering at this point with Omicron coming, I know it's not a popular decision, but I think that if I'm the governor, I would cut that down, just anticipating Omicron arrival on island because so much traveling from our relative from the state to come to Guam.
Doc, so I hate it when you're right. I do. I really hate it when you're right. You were right about this Delta surge. You were the first voice warning everyone that this Delta surge, where you're right, we lost way too many people because our government didn't do enough. That's the reality. But you were the first voice to come out and warn of it, and no one listened. And, all those deaths, all those cases, I mean, a surge that lasted months. So I know they're listening now. You're the former head of the Physicians Advisory Group. If you had the governor's ear this morning, what would you tell her to help her prepare for the Omicron storm?
I would say that prepare by standing up, plan for more testing site during the new year and also after the new year in January. And really, I would like to see if we can cut back in the gathering, put some restriction on it. Doesn't matter indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter what your vaccination status is. The vaccination status of vaccine, unvax is history. We way past that already. So I think that we should treat all the people of Guam as the same. And I think that we do that with the cooperation of everyone, the restriction of the number of people on the gathering and increase the testing. I think that's the number one thing that we can try to hold down this surge as much as possible. And again, encourage people to get the booster if they don't have it yet. So those are stuff that if I make a decision, that's what I would do. But I would not sit back and not do anything before the new year come in a few days.
All right, Doc.
Okay, guys, just please be safe. And, I keep my prayer for our people of Guam and, wear your mask and be careful. and hopefully we come through the Omicron, maybe much more positive, but we lose much less people that we lose rather than the last surge. Okay.
Thank you, Doc. That's doctor's orders with Dr. Hoa Wen. By the way, Doc, I want to just end on a positive note, not a COVID positive note. Pensacola, Florida. I know you're visiting your brother out there, right? So
yes.
How's that going?
Oh, it's very good. We have strictly gathering only immediate family. No one else come except immediate family. And I know I'm kind of a little bit anal, but we test everyone before they come.
So you're the anal one in the family. Got it. Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, Doc, it is what it is, man. How's the fishing?
My mom is, she's 86 years old.
Oh, wow.
We got to protect her.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so,
yeah, that's great. Good to hear, Doc. How's the fishing, though? Have you got to go fishing yet?
Oh, no. I tell you, I just enjoy driving around with this the beautiful weather here.
Yeah.
And just sit down the porch and look at the water. It's very relaxed.
Right on. Well, you relax and get ready to come back here. You never know how hot it's going to be when you come back.
I know. I hope my plane is not going to get canceled, because a lot of flights are getting canceled because no staff.
Right. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Safe travel.
Okay, guys.
Okay, there you go.
Be safe, okay?
Dr. Hoa Wen, they're the former advisor of the Physicians Advisory Group. Remember, this is the group of doctors. They advised the governor on how to move during the pandemic. He was very key and instrumental in a lot of the decisions that were made early on in the pandemic. But remember, he left the Physicians Advisory Group because of what he called political interference. And when I asked him, hey, which part was like the political interference, he was like, everything. So it's very good for him to come on this show and speak his mind, share his opinions, without him having to worry about, pissing off his big boss. He's not working for the governor. I mean, he never was. It was a volunteer thing. So I like that he comes on here, and I love his messaging. It's just right, I feel like, where it needs to be. And that message this morning is prepare. Right, get ready.
And he wouldn't do it if he didn't truly care. I mean, he'd just be like, "Well, I'm on vacation, whatever." And he's like, "No, he still called. He still calls in and be like, hey, this is his home."
And I also like that. What did he say? He's the anal one in the family, trying to protect his 86-year-old mom, and that to me, that's kind of like his center. I mean, if you know Dr. Hoa, and I feel like we really got to know him during this pandemic.
And that's why people, we get the occasional comment like on our show about. I mean, we haven't gotten one in the last few days, but people are like, "Why are you wearing the mask inside? Take off your mask, sheep." That doesn't know. It's. I live with my mom, who is elderly. You live with your mom.
Yeah.
You've got your kids over. Well, Joser's got his kids and his in-laws.
And I go around with other people outside my household, so I don't want to expose you guys unless you're into that.
I mean, I use my mask when I go outside and work out, and it's like, why? Because if I happen to even pass by like other people, they don't know where I've been. I don't know where they've been.
I don't know where you've been, Jason. So there you go. That was the word from Dr. Hoa Wen. Coming up on the show, former Governor Carl Gutierrez. He's the CEO of the Guam Visitors Bureau. Also, we're going to do a year in review with our buddy Farron Tyron, the Guam guy. He's on Instagram. He does a bunch of stuff, remember. He rappelled down the Jonestown Cliff, did a cleanup there. There was also Marble Cave. He was kind of like one of the first ones on the scene after that whole mudslide thing that happened over there. So we'll catch up with him. And then also today on Tuesdays, we do FHP Hoffa Health Tips. And what do we got?
We're going to talk to Dr. Vincent Duenas, and he is going to talk about some general tips heading into the new year. Simple little things, baby steps.
I'll get ready. New year, new me.
That go a long way.
Yeah. I went to the workout this morning, and one of the guys at the gym, I was like, hey, are you ready for all the new year, new me's that are coming? And that's why I started in October. So I didn't want to be a new year, new me. So yeah, guys, just do what you can to be healthy. I mean, obviously, wellness has always been a big message on our island because of these comorbidities, even going back before the pandemic. I mean, how many 5Ks, right? How many guests have we had on KUAM News Extra just promoting wellness all the time.
And remember, from literally the name of his clinic is the Wellness Clinic,
Right,
Dr. Keith
yeah.
Hornucci.
Yeah.
Saying what, if you want to do like these little simple tricks, take vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc.
Yeah.
Just take a little bit of that like every day. And I even asked, I was like, okay, can I be cheap and can I just buy like one multivitamin
Yeah,
and save
yeah.
a few bucks? And he's like, the dosage, if you take them individually, is a little bit better. Especially because we're coming out of, the
yeah.
winter season, quote
Hey,
unquote.
have you seen my vitamin thing? Is it in here? So anyway, this
Oh,
is a funny story. So just kind of expanding on what you said with Dr. Hornucci, who is the founder of the Wellness Clinic, right? And he's really big on curbing inflammation, right? And he says that inflammation causes so many other ailments that we're all, fighting and dealing with. And so when we had him on, you're right, he reeled off a bunch of different vitamins you could take. So of course, at the time I was trying to fight back that diabetes. So me, I just went out and was like, okay, what do you say? Vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B.
You bought the
vitamin
whole
F.
alphabet.
I bought the whole alphabet. And the problem is, if you're taking those things, you need one of those Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the pill dispenser things, right?
And then Marie got you one of those.
Maria got me one,
for
and so
Christmas.
yes, so she got me one, and we're sitting around talking with her cousins. They're like, oh, they were talking about something. They're like, oh, what's funny is like, you ever seen those vitamin dispensers? And those are for like the 80-year-olds. Well, I'm not 80, but I got one, and it's only because Dr. Hornucci had said take all these different vitamins for wellness, and so that's what you kind of do. Because I was talking to my mom about it. She was like, "Well, you could take the vitamins, or you could eat it, right? Get it out of your food." But I think a lot of times, I don't know. This is just a random, and I'm not saying it's fact, but let's say, for example, like vitamin B, you would probably have to eat like 20 pounds of broccoli to get the amount of like vitamin whatever that you need.
But for those of you out there who are not pill poppers,
yeah,
and
I'm
you're
not
like,
a pill popper, Jay. I'm not a pill popper.
But
I resent that. Okay, I'm not a pill popper. I just take a lot of pills.
No, but I am, right?
But only one of them is I take my high blood, which is the
There you go.
amlodipine. Everything else is there's the fish oil thing.
Some
there's
people just don't like taking like medicine unless they absolutely
Yeah.
need to in dire
I'm that-
situations.
I'm that
And
way too.
I will say, like, this is the season for those wonderful Japanese tangerines. You know the one I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Right?
yeah, yeah.
They peel off in one shot. They're super juicy, super sweet. So if you want to get your vitamin C in a natural way that's not in pill form, jam a couple of those tangerines.
Jam a tangerine, boy. Well, which one are you going to jam, Jay? Because it's also the Korean tangerine season in Jeju Island. They're raining down tangerines.
Yeah, and Payless has huge supply
Yeah,
of both.
they've got both.
I
Yeah.
went and I got, I bought like the Japanese ones because I always like the Japanese.
Yeah.
They're real soft and they're real big. So I
Mm.
got like 3 pounds of that, right?
Yeah.
And then I packed that up.
Soft
As soon
and
as I
big.
turned the corner, there's the cuties.
The cuties.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
gotta get the cuties.
Jay's always looking at them cuties. So yeah, the cuties are the little kitty. What are they, mandarins?
The
or something?
mandarins,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, those are good. The skin is like it's not. Is it loose?
It's a little bit more work to get
It's-
to get it
yeah,
off
yeah,
that.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
mean those Japanese tangerines. Once you like break the skin, it's like one shot.
Totally. Even the Korean ones. The Korean ones are a little like looser, right?
Yeah.
And so I tried both the Japanese and the Korean tangerines this year. I want to say the Korean ones are juicier, but the Japanese ones are just a little bit sweeter. That's my honest review.
Which ones are bigger though? I think the Japanese ones are actually like larger.
Yeah, the Japanese ones are bigger.
Yeah. They've also got really good blueberries, strawberries,
Yeah.
acai bowl. If
They don't have Lagwana, though. They don't have Otis. Ooh. 756 Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, ITD, and Jack in the Box. Proud to present this episode of The Link. We did have a couple more comments here. Hi, and Miss Margaret Hattori Chima. I love this lady, man. The true representation of a frontliner. She says, thank you, KUAM, for encouraging safety. Dr. Wen is right that any lives lost are too many lives lost. Stay safe, Guam. We can head off a surge. Well, let's hope so, right? Oh, Armando Dominguez comments, I am taking all those vitamins. My brother in vitamins. Right on, my brother in vitamins. He's 84. Have good days. Energize. Right on. That's good. Frank the Crank here. Vitamins and supplements work hand in hand with a balanced diet for sure. Yeah, I do have a balanced diet. It was hard to balance all that Taco Bell in my hand last night. 757, Tomas Maglotnia.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. Doing all right.
Right on. Did you take your vitamins?
No, I should. I was taking notes when Jason was listing all of the things to take.
Yeah,
so.
just do the whole alphabet, bro.
Yeah.
Vitamin J, especially.
You know, I'm just a little wary of what Jason offers me these days.
You're also at that age. I know you're into like weightlifting.
First of
right?
all, never accept a drink from Jason.
No, Tomas is also like into weightlifting because he's young. You know, like he weightlifts like 12 ounces. He does curls 12 ounces at a time.
Yeah. He had to do the 12-ounce curl deal.
Similar to you, I just lift my laptop every day.
Yep. All right. 7:58. Tomas is coming up with the CNMI news, Tomas?
Yes.
Right. We did play your episode of Pacific Matters.
Good work, man.
That was great. That was awesome. It really kind of brought a lot of people up to speed with exactly what is going on with this articles of impeachment thing.
Well, it was interesting, too, because, we were kind of talking about how to present that, and I think showing the stories as it aired in the last year was the best way, because you got these questions that seemed like just assumptions by some legislators, and then the Open Government Act came back, which is kind of like the FOIA process, and then depending on which side of the aisle you're on, whether that confirms things or not. And
so I just want to go to this. Are we on KUAM TV today?
Yes, we are.
Yes, okay. So I want to just go to the. There was a little sniblet you played where it was revealed that the governor had gotten reimbursed for buying a car battery for a car that it was a personal vehicle that he eventually sold.
That is correct.
That's pretty nuts. I mean, a car battery is like $80, which is a lot. Let me tell you, you get hit with a dead battery, 2 days before payday. Good luck with that.
This is the kind of stuff that only happens in the island. Like if you see like a really big market like in the States, it'd be like, land deals and offshore accounts of the day. Like out here in the islands, we get like charged a battery.
No, but Jay, there's way more than that. I'm just saying the principle of it, though. I mean, you're a sitting governor. How much does he make? And he can't even to me, that's what it's about. It's the principle. It's not the dollar amounts. It's the ethics of it. If it's true.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I know the committee has been formed, the 9-member committee made of both Republicans, Democrats, and allies, who are expected to send back the articles of impeachment, and we'll bring that to you sometime this week. Once I think they might be meeting today, but I'm not sure if it's public yet.
Right on, yeah, and they're also dealing with a very, very difficult surge over there, as they saw. Was it 4 deaths in the last
since Christmas?
Yeah.
And yesterday, a doctor from the World Health Organization was sent to Saipan to help address the matters too.
So they have a WHO representative. And the NMI.
Dr. Ali Khan, yeah.
Okay, all right. It's 8 o'clock. We're at KUAM. Oh, someone messaged me $80 for a car battery. Yeah, I know it's more than that. It was like $120 or something.
Well, the episode's up on YouTube if you want to confirm. The
Actually,
price.
the last time I bought a car battery was pretty recent, but I only remember the time before that, which was a long time ago because it was $80. Right? Yeah. Hey, it's 8 o'clock. We're at KUAM FM in Agotnia, Guam on the breeze. This is the link, and let's get ready. Fix yourselves, guys. Jump over to KUAM TV. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock. Good morning. Pacific Points, Calvo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Jason Solis. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Breakfast time.
Yes.
Or maybe not.
Tomas McGlotnia. Yeah, it's Tuesday Treats with Three Squares Marketplace coming up.
So they're on their way coming up.
I believe so.
Drive safely, guys.
Joe, sir, good
They're
morning.
transporting precious cargo if they're bringing food to us.
That's right. It's funny. I was. Can we pop up the picture of the pins? Right. So.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting to me.
This is cool too.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue. But so anyway, it was just kind of funny because we're talking to Dr. Hoa Wen about this impending Omicron variant surge that he just believes it's just a matter of when, not if. But our government is already handing out congratulatory COVID pins as if the pandemic was over. And it's pretty interesting. We did see this going around on social media, and I think we're popping up the graphic here. And these are commemorative COVID-19 response pins that were given to some government of Guam employees. And there's also a letter attached from the governor and lieutenant governor. These commemorative pins recognize government of Guam employees who were and continue to be part of the COVID-19 pandemic response since March of 2020. This special group of public servants includes frontliners, medical professionals, military service members, and other government employees who are identified as having continued to work either in person or teleworking when island-wide stay-at-home mandates were effective and certain government services were temporarily unavailable to the public. On behalf of the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration, si Juus Maasi. And then it's signed off by the governor and the lieutenant governor. And I believe there was an article in one of the papers this morning kind of talking about a lot of the questions that this whole PIN thing raises. And, well, I guess right off the bat, it's that they're using the local funds. We don't really have much local funds. What we do have, though, is an overabundance of federal monies. But maybe they couldn't buy commemorative pins with the federal money because of the paperwork. I'm not even sure. I'm going to ask some questions today and hopefully get to the bottom of it. But the issue is, to me, that certain people have already received these pins. And when I saw it on the social media, it was a DYA employee had posted that they got this pin, which I get it, right? I get it. Thank you guys so much for your service. On top of the COVID differential pay you got, thank you again. And we'll just continue the incessant thanking of all the frontliners during this pandemic. It's what we do. I mean, you know, it's the new prayer, right? And so I was like, okay, so DYA, yeah, they remained open, right? But then I started calling around to some of my friends. I got friends at GPA, and guess what? The employees at GPA, they worked during the pandemic too. A lot of them didn't even telework. They worked in person. And so I said, hey, man, how's that pin? And he's like, what pin? I sent him a picture. He goes, oh, we didn't get no pin. It's like, okay. And then so I asked a GDOE employee, hey, do you guys get these pins? Because, you know, I mean, no, we didn't get a pin. And that's what I think the problem is that some people got them, and then when the media found out about it, it became, oh, no, everyone's going to get them. And that just creates this kind of like feeling where if we're going to appreciate everyone, what's the priority? Why don't we thank everyone at the same time instead of just what's the rhyme and reason? Why did certain people get it, others didn't? And then it came out that, oh, everyone's going to get it. And then
Sorry, is it all the same pin, or are there different pins for different
From what we know, it's
locations?
the same pin.
It's all the same pin.
It's the same pin, right? And, you know, I don't want to be whining about a COVID pin. That's not what it's about to me. It's just about, how do you screw this up? I mean, if you're going to pat people on the back, then you got to pat everybody on the back. And it's just an extension of this, like, in philosophy, right? And people run with this. They say, oh, I guess we must not be in. We didn't get a pin, right? Who did get a pin? Well, I guarantee you the people who are in got their pins already. And then what about the private sector? Huh? What about the gas station workers, the restaurant workers, the grocery store workers, the trash collectors, the media? What about all these people?
I don't want a pin. I'll take a check.
Are we not part of a special group? Yeah, I don't need a pin either, but I'm just saying.
I'll take a check.
Yeah. And then that's the other side of it, right? Is, okay, was this an emergency procurement? Was it a sole source procurement? Who printed these pins? How much did it cost? How many are we printing? All these are basic questions that the director of communications should be able to answer like that. Like that. Look, okay, yeah, there's 3,000 pins. They cost this much. This is the vendor, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it should be easy. And if you're going to do something like give these pins out, then, I mean, in an administration that likes to announce the littlest things, I mean, they put out that we're doing fireworks brought to you by the governor, lieutenant governor. So there's a lot of fanfare with certain announcements. I'm not sure why they didn't come out and say, hey, we're good, we're doing these pins and we just want to recognize everyone. It was kind of like when the media got wind of it and it started going around on WhatsApp, That's when it was addressed, which is reactionary, right? And that's, again, a problem with communications. Now they're sitting here playing catch-up, looking like the bad guy. And it is what it is. If I'm a government employee and I look over at this guy who goes to the campaign rallies and he's got his pin and I don't got my pin and we work the same thing, how do you think that's going to make me feel? How? Yeah, it's not a good feeling. And that's exactly what we have now, is you got some people who the governor, lieutenant governor felt deserved to be recognized, and other people who did the same amount of work, the same type of work, experienced the same amount of risk as these other people, totally cold-shouldered. The Mayor's Council of Guam, the mayor's staffers, who can't even get their COVID differential pay. They didn't get no pin. I talked to the Mayor's Council of Guam president. Hey, how'd you guys like your pin? What pin? We didn't get no pin. So again, it's the rhyme and reason of it. What is the protocol to determine who got a pin first, and why didn't we do it right? Get all the pins. If you want to make a big show out of it, do a big show out of it. But just make sure that you take care of everyone at the same time, because if you don't, what it ends up looking like is, oh, we're just going to take care of our people, and hey, here's a little pin, hey, That's all I'm saying. I'm not pooing on the frontliners or, saying, hey, you guys didn't work hard, you don't deserve a pin. Yeah, get a pin, dude. Go for it.
You're not pin shaming.
No, I'm not. That's not what it's about for me. It's just about recognizing everyone, not just your people. It's 8:09.
You gonna put a pin in it now?
Let's put a pin in it. Let's go put a little pin on it. And then if you're doing all these pins, then as the director of communications or whatever, you should have the information like that. You should. Okay, this is the vendor, this is the thing, and now look what's going to happen is we're going to have to send a FOIA, and it's going to be like pulling teeth to just get basic information.
Yeah, interesting how people, kind of express their gratitude. I've seen other governments do a memorial, things like that, something for everyone, right?
Right,
and so this one kind of almost like certifies your work in the past 2 years.
I guess it does, right? But only if you got one. And so that's what I'm saying is, like, you got other people who worked hard during this pandemic.
Maybe they're still like molding the rest.
But
or is there a order that they're doing it in? Because I get what you were saying, and that was a good point made by you. If they give a pin to like every single person on the island and said we made it through this together, it completely devalues it.
Yeah.
If everybody gets it,
right?
It's like that whole thing about like every kid
Jay,
gets a trophy.
It might devalue it, but if that's the facts, and thousands of us work to help the island push through, then that's the facts, and everyone deserves the same amount of recognition. That's all I'm saying. And again, it is what it is. We'll try and ask the questions and get to the bottom of it. But what about a memorial for all the lives we lost during the pandemic? We want to give out shiny metal pins, but let's not forget the people that we lost because we just didn't do enough. It's 8:10. We're brought to you by Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box on this Tuesday, December 28, 2021. Let's go ahead and get into our 8 o'clock newscast, which is brought to you by Pacific Points with the very latest for Sabrina Salas Matanani. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, everybody. There are now 9 people hospitalized for COVID-19. One's in the ICU and one is on a ventilator. Of those, 6 have been vaccinated and 3 have not been vaccinated. 26 new positive cases out of more than 900 samples taken from December 24th through the 27th were evaluated. Thus, the CAR score has increased by a tenth. It's now up from 1.0 to 1.1. If you are a resident of the Tamuning, Tumon, Harmon Tri-Village area, the mayor's office will host a town meeting with GPD on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. at the Tamuning Community Senior Center. GPD personnel will be there to answer questions you may have regarding the area's Neighborhood Watch, Crime Watch program, and other tips on safety. If you would like to attend or for more information, call Mayor Louise Rivera. Her number 480-4440. You can also just send her a WhatsApp message. That number once again for Mayor Louise, 480-4440. Well, since Tomas is in studio, we want to get you up to speed on what is happening with the COVID situation in Saipan. As he reported last night, Saipan suffered 4 deaths in as many days related to COVID-19 as health officials are preparing for a possible surge driven by Delta as concerns about Omicron loom on the horizon.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought tremendous grief to the families.
The CNMI suffering 4 deaths since Christmas, entering the 9th week of Saipan's first surge.
We are currently at 93.44% of our eligible population being fully vaccinated, but this still leaves a lot of unvaccinated folks susceptible to this disease.
Saipan nearing 3,000 cases as 3/4 of hospital admissions due to COVID are unvaccinated. With an expected spike driven by holiday gatherings, health officials say more treatment for COVID is on the way, but it is not a substitute for the vaccine.
And for some of you that took, had a hard time deciding on getting vaccinated, I am pleading with you to please look at if you're qualified to get your booster shots as well.
Over 30% of people who are eligible receive their booster shot.
The hope is that as increasing number of people get vaccinated, we will be able to temper any surge from a new variant.
Tomas Manglotnya for KUAM News.
All right, Tomas is here once again in studio. Tomas, any updates on what the situation is relative to number of infections?
Yes, last night we received new data from the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. 70 new cases reported positive from December 24th and the 26th. This bringing the CNMI's total closer to, unfortunately, 3,000 cases, a total of 2,963 cases since March of last year. Also wanted to just provide an update that as of yesterday, there have been 2,009 recoveries, 654 active cases, and 9 deaths since the surge, which began on October 28. And of the people who are hospitalized on Saipan, there are 13 of them. 10 are unvaccinated, 3 are vaccinated, and they're reporting that 2 of them are on a ventilator while 1 was discharged. And so of the 70 cases that were reported last night, 46 were identified on December 26th and 24 on December 24th, 55 through contact tracing, 14 via community testing, and 1 via travel testing. And also wanted to provide an update with regards to the public school system. Schools on Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, there are about 10,000 students who will be returning to the classroom next Monday. And they're having a board meeting in just over an hour at 9 o'clock to discuss those plans. And also Dr. Ali Khan, who we heard from in the story from the World Health Organization, who's a medical epidemiologist, will be holding an info session tonight for parents, which you can find on the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation page. And just a quick update, switching gears a little bit with regards to the impeachment committee that was formed just a few days ago with House Speaker Edmund Villagomez's memorandum. They're expected to meet sometime in the next week to decide on how to move forward with their bipartisan committee and the 6 articles of impeachment that were introduced. And just wanted to remind our viewers who are listening here who the 9 members of that impeachment committee are. That's Vice Speaker B.J. Atau, Representative Angel Demapan, Representative Joseph Flores, Representative Lipan Guerrero, Representative Karina Magofnia, Donald Manglotnya, Tina Sablan, Patrick Sineklis, and Layla Stauffer. And so we're going to keep a close eye on that as well, Jace.
All right, thanks so much, Tomas. Getting back to local news here on Guam, closing arguments were held yesterday for a man accused of raping and impregnating an 11-year-old back in 2018. Tyler Matanani has this story.
Closing arguments were held today in Superior Court for 41-year-old Renex Riosen. Riosen faces first-degree criminal sexual conduct for allegedly raping and impregnating an 11-year-old. During the hearing, Assistant Attorney General Sean Brown told the jury that the victim may have looked like a grown woman when she gave her testimony. He then showed the jury an old holiday photo, reminding them that she was just a child when the alleged incident occurred. Quote, "These things didn't happen to a 15-year-old girl. It happened to a 12-year-old girl," said Brown. He recalled the victim's testimony, stating that she experienced the abuse for several years between the ages of 6 to 11 and became pregnant at 12. He further addressed questions the jury may have had about the timeliness of the report, to which Brown reminded them that the defendant told the victim not to tell her mom.
The complaint was made by a middle school in central Guam in May of 2019. The alleged rape occurred in November or December of 2018, according to the magistrate's complaint. The victim told police she had just returned from school when she saw Riosin with some friends outside her apartment. According to the report, she drank a glass of what appeared to be water and that it tasted sweet like there was sugar in it. Soon after, she fell asleep and woke up several hours later with her shorts to her knees and felt pain in her genital area. In April of 2019, Riosin approached the victim and told her he was the one that did that to her. According to court documents, she took the statement to mean that he had sexual intercourse with her and that he was the one that made her pregnant. He has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
We've been telling you about the crisis hotline, of course, and that service is available 24/7 at 647-8833 should you or anybody you know be in need of it. And the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, which administers that public service, is gearing up for the expected hit of increased calls to the hotline during the holiday season.
COVID-19 cases on the island weren't the only thing that reduced in the last few weeks, but the amount of calls into the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's 24/7 crisis hotline has also decreased. That's according to GBHWC Director Therese Areola. Behavioral Health reported 1,028 calls in September, 917 in October, and 570 in November. In a recent interview with KUAM News, Areola shared the number of calls made in December so far, noting a dip in calls.
And now that we're in December, the week before Christmas, we are tracking at 286 as of yesterday. So you could tell that as the community is less stressed out about the pandemic, the number of people who actually call the crisis hotline has also reduced.
Pre-COVID, behavioral health received an estimated 30 calls per month. Areola attributes the drop in calls to lower COVID cases reported on Guam.
And as you can see, it keeps going down, but that is also because the community was getting healthier. We're seeing herd immunity. As the community get herd immunity, there's less and less anxiety. And so we're really happy about that.
Meanwhile, the holidays are filled with joy and positive energy. It is as well a time for friends and family to gather, celebrate, and reflect on our many blessings. But due to the COVID pandemic, the community was restricted from doing so in the last 2 years, forcing many to be alone. Now that the holiday season is amongst us, Areola says GBHWC is bracing for the anticipation of an influx of calls in the coming weeks.
So now that the holidays is around us, this week and next week, and probably the next two and a half weeks, we do expect people to be calling. And because the holidays brings about a lot of loneliness and depression, and people who are not able to be with family. And so we are ready for it.
Areola explained the top 3 reasons why people use their crisis hotline services.
Whatever caused them, whether it's the holiday season or COVID, they use the hotline. And the top 3 concerns are still depression, anxiety, and loneliness now. So, and loneliness is probably due to the holiday season.
For those dealing with the holiday blues, Areola shared this message.
Remember always 647-8833 and know that you're not alone. We're here to help you, and we're here to get you through whatever crisis and hurdles you may be experiencing during this holiday season.
And in other news, Jonah Goncharfer says our next story as a youth program aimed at celebrating the gift of giving back to the island community. Here's Joan with more on GPD's Project U.
It's a free 8-day program that was offered to youth over Christmas break. Project U is spearheaded by the Guam Police Department and is focused on fun activities geared towards the betterment of the island community. Last week, participants took part in a handful of restoration projects, such as the repainting of one of the bus stops in Tizan. GPD PO3 Eric Asanoma, who is part of the Juvenile Investigation Section, is overseeing the program.
This is one of the projects that was sponsored specifically by GPD. It's a project we decided to take on. We pass by here kind of often as on our way to the office, and we see that this one of the bus stops that kind of has not been adopted because it's right here next to one of our really supportive sponsors, the GCA Trades Academy. They allowed us to go in and adopt this and do our restoration project.
Another activity the 15 participants took part in was spearheaded by one of Project U's partners, Department of Youth Affairs, DYA Community Program Aide 2, John Castillo.
We cleaned up the Harmon Sports Complex. We picked up trash in the entire area. And today we are painting the stalls here at the pool site. The DPR director really appreciated everything that they did. So already today, before we started, I had passed on that message to them, and they feel like self-ownership of taking part in their community and keeping their community clean.
The biggest takeaway for the participants is the incredible mentorship, as Sonoma encourages everybody to fill out a registration packet for future programs.
Don't dismiss it. Try it out, and I'm pretty sure that your kids would love to come here. The youth to officer, the wall is not really there, so the program has allowed us to create a little bit of a stronger bond and to reach out to the youth that participated here. Their minds are turning, and the kids are looking up towards their mentors, and they're really open to asking questions that show their interest in what they want to become later in life.
The program wraps up on Thursday. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
All right, everybody, and please sit tight because we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, GVB Chief Carl Gutierrez on the state of island tourism. Stay tuned.
Basically, my life was a revolving door of just getting drugs, using drugs. My name is Anne-Marie Sablan. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a student at Guam Community College, about to graduate with my associate's degree in human services. Got my high school diploma with GCC's Adult High program. The staff there is very helpful. They're very friendly, and it became like a family dynamic. It's possible for anybody, especially people like me who struggle with addiction.
Attention basketball fans, the wait is over. Clutch Guam presents the second annual McDonald's High School Basketball Classic, going down December 20th to January 8th at the Father Duenas Jungle. Make sure you come through to watch some high school boys and girls varsity division action. You do not want to miss out. Special thanks going out to KUAM Sports. We'll see you there.
The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentation, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. 8:27. The last Tuesday of 2021. Wow. Had a lot of good Tuesdays this year, guys. I want to say Tuesdays in 2021 stepped it up, you know what I mean? Before, all Tuesday had was that song that going up on a Tuesday. I feel like Tuesdays, I've had some good Tuesdays this year.
Would that be because our friends at Three Squares gift us with their amazing food on Tuesdays?
Could
I think that may have a little bit to do with it.
You know, could be a coincidence, but
It was the first time I saw Jason do a happy dance after eating something. So.
that's the first time I saw Jason eat something at work. So, Tomas, the daily question.
Yeah, so as we wrap up the new the last year, we asked folks how they plan to celebrate the new year. One person writing with no worries. Lots of people say they're entering the New Year's without a worry at all. Someone on if you go over to our Facebook page, you can see lots of the conversations going on there. Kib writing, partying all night long. Justin writing, by gathering with as many people as I can, regardless of their vaccine status. Francis says he's going to stay home and be safe. Connie writing, it's just another day like any other day. I start my day with Bible readings, devotions, then on to taking care of my house.
That sounds great.
Dave says he's going to start 2022 with a positive, fresh outlook for our island. Armando says he's staying home as well. And Francis offering everyone a funny and uplifting message. Positive prayers for this pandemic to just go away for the sake of the people. He adds, by the way, I want to end the year on a good note so everyone can start apologizing to him now, Chris. So I think that might be the attitude right during 2022.
How about you, New Year's Eve? Were you like, are you muting anything? Are you just going hard or what?
I don't know yet. Yeah.
Well, there's fireworks at midnight.
Where
at?
at?
Fireworks from your place, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
you will.
okay.
Yeah.
Anywhere in that area, right?
Agotnia is where it's at.
Agotnia.
Yeah.
So you up in Agani Heights, you'll basically have like a ringside seat.
Yeah.
I
Should
can't
be
stay
exciting.
up
I don't
past,
think I've ever been
I'm
here for
trying to
New
stay
Year's,
up to
actually,
midnight.
so.
But how about you, Jay? I know you got big plans.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I bought a new can of Dow scrubbing bubbles, which I'm going to use on the shower.
They still
night.
make that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've got some getting ready with getting a jump on my taxes. And I've got a little.
Well, do you have a designated driver for all that, Jay?
Because of Chris's face. Yeah.
Don't laugh, guys.
No.
Check this out. So last
great.
New Year's Eve, I wrote these. We wrote these intentions thing. It's so.
Did you put them in the bottle or something?
No.
Maria made you do it, right?
We burned them.
Well,
oh.
Yeah, and so it's like, yeah. But you know the things that I wish.
Christopher Columbus did the same thing.
The things that I wished for on
And
New
a lot
Year's
more.
Eve last year on that paper that I wrote down that I burned that no one would ever see, they all came true. So.
But you know what the new trend is? You write it on a plate and you throw the plate at some hard surface and crack it.
In a wall.
Yeah,
I've seen
at a
that.
wall or
Yeah.
something.
Decidedly more dangerous.
Yeah. So.
Right. Well, I don't
You
know.
could do
My
that too.
I don't know how my plastic and paper plates would do.
You can burn those. Burn those.
Maybe I'll just
Change
burn
it up.
right?
I can just see you like doing that. I'm getting a mental image, and you've got Spotify in the background with like "Let It Go" by Frozen like on blast. And
How do you know about Let It Go? It's 8:31, Tuesday, December
chew on that
28th.
mental image for a few minutes.
Yeah,
guys.
let's go ahead and get the CEO, president, czar of the Guam Visitors Bureau, former Governor Carl Gutierrez. Good morning, Gov.
Morning, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Gov. How was your Christmas?
Very well, thank you. And I just hope that the New Year's is going to be pretty much the same with no downtime.
Wait, you're hoping the New Year's pretty much the same as the one we just had, or just like good vibes like your Christmas?
I just turned you up.
Right on. So, Gov, I had Nestor send me a couple questions, if you don't mind. I guess the first one we'll ask is, what's the latest on the cultural tourism plan?
Cultural Tourism Fund?
Plan.
Oh, yeah, that's ongoing. $20 million has been set aside, and we're looking to get some more money from the infrastructure funds so that we can augment the 20 million to be able to put the right infrastructure in place where we are going to set the center stage for the cultural tourism. And so that's moving forward. We're trying to get some participants in the private sector to make this a public-private partnership. And as a matter of fact, there are some people that are pretty much interested in this, but it's a big project, and they just don't make a decision quickly like that. But there are other people we're going to be reaching out to that may participate to make this thing work, as we did with Pleasure Island.
Can you kind of go in, Gov, a little bit on what this $20 million will be spent on, who it'll be given to?
The $20 million is coming to GVB, and we're trying to augment that up to $50 million. That's only the seed money. The more we have in infrastructure in the plan, when I was governor, I put in $57 million to begin the Pleasure Island vision, and that's a lot of that was for infrastructure, storm drains, etc. Expanding the roads and putting in the right cobblestones, and the whole deal, realigning businesses, realigning buildings that were kind of out of the way. So with this, $50 million, I think would be a good start to be able to put this really a great vision that the governor and the lieutenant governor has put forward to us for us to implement. And it's going to be about $50 million to begin with here. So 20 million we have, and I think she's going to be amenable to augment that 20 million and get this thing to make sure that it becomes successful.
Gov, so maybe you can just kind of describe like a day in the life of cultural tourism for Guam. So when we get the tourism up and running and you achieve this cultural tourism dream that we have, what would it look like for a tourist who comes to Guam?
Well, first of all, I've traveled a lot around the world, and I've seen one place in particular in Christchurch, New Zealand, where I went to the one area that kind of jogged my memory to try to replicate that here. And the fact is that I've seen a lot of our young people here, even middle-aged people that are not really familiar with the Guam culture. And I remember back in 1970 when we launched our first tourism program, it was really the reason why the tourists came back then and kept coming back was Guam, the culture of Guam, the people of Guam. And that has really moved aside to being more commercial when we did the Pleasure Island. Now we've got to get back to really set up a center stage to not only display for our tourists the cultural thing of Guam, but also to bring our local kids in to understand what's going on. And that really is the key to what we can do in this center stage. And it's going to be like for Maguon generally, because they were the ones that we're targeting. And we're going to not only do this to go back to the future, go back to 1970 to do the cultural stuff, but also to jump forward into a 5G generation kind of a park, so that everybody becomes interactive here. We're going to do a cleanup of the beaches, tie in one park to the other park, have lanes of different things, and have I was looking at one particular area, and I don't know if you've ever been to a destination. I had been one to Cancun, where you go out and sit on the rocks by the beach, and all the different thousands and hundreds of thousands of fish come up and play with you. I think that's where we're going to also do that. And we've got someone already looking at making that habitat for those places where our kids can see what's happening there and really make it a preserve in that particular area in Tumon Bay.
Gov, are there examples you think that we already have up and running of successful cultural tourism? Because right off the bat, I just think Valley of the Latte, right?
Well, first of all, we know, and they're starving up there at Sagan Cultura, up there by above the Hilton, and we're tying them in. We're tying them in a center also where people can go up to that part of the place, and also a wellness center around the Naftan, so the Naftan area that's there too, and the property for the Old Guam Memorial. I mean, we're going to try to make that into a wellness center. If you notice that the Bishop Flores Circle, inside there, a lot of people are going there exercising there, but there's no place for them to park. So we're tying that whole thing into to also. I know we haven't talked to the owners yet on the coral pit. That coral pit across the artist group there, by the GPA substation, up the hill by the Hilton. That's about more than a mile probably across, and we're trying to see whether we can put that into the mix also, because if you're going to do this center states, you will need to get vehicles off the road and find a place for them to park off-site.
Gov, you mentioned parks earlier. I'm sure you're aware of what happened down at Fort Soledad. So do you have any ideas on how we can better surveil and secure our island's parks and the historical things that we have in them?
Well, you know that happened over there by the Hyatt and between the Hyatt and Dusit, where they had that pillbox, a Japanese pillbox there, and they knocked that. They really graffitied that place, and it took us almost a month to get a clearance from the historic preservation people to take it off, because they said you got to use the right kind of stuff, and so it's really problematic when people do that. And so when it comes to making sure that things like that don't happen with our public places like bathrooms at Ipao, Ipan, Talafofo, down at Umatic that they just graffitied, and over at the swimming pool in Inarohan, we're trying to do the better to take care of it at the beginning instead of repairing it. We're going to do a 24/7 kind of monitoring. We signed an agreement with the Parks and Recreation about a month and a half ago to take over the 2 bathrooms at Ipao because they held up their request for bids since April. And lo and behold, when we signed that memorandum of understanding agreement, they finally approved the bids, and somebody had won it, but it was only for 8 hours, in the daytime. So now we're trying to figure out how GDB is going to get in to make sure that there's a 24-hour monitoring of that place. As I did back when I was, again, I had airport take care of the 2 Batapeng and Ipao by AMI, Amante McDowell's group, 24 hours. It was like 2 years of spotless. People were there cleaning up, they're watching it. We want to do this because it saves us money in the long run, and it provides the necessary benefits to the tourists and the visitors if they're there and clean. And so I guess we just have to be more cognizant of the fact that there are people out there that are not going to do good for the community, and I guess you just have to watch it for 24 hours.
Yeah, Gov, so how do we make sure that we keep watching it for 24 hours and not have this conversation a couple years down the road where it's like, oh, we were watching it for 24 hours and then we had to stop and now it's only 8 hours and that's why they graffitied everything. So how do we just make it and set it and forget it,
Yeah, well, first of all, it requires funds, and the funds should be like this, an earmark towards that, because in the long run, it costs you more to go back there and redo it. So let's spend the money up front. Let's watch it and constantly monitor it 24 hours a day, because it's just the way it is right now. There's no way that, of all places, Umatic, right? I never expected that someone would do that at Umatic, because, that community is very close-knit and they know everybody. But can you imagine what's going to happen down here at Ipa, where people even sleep there at night? And so we've got to be able to find that 24/7 mechanism to make this thing actually work out from the outset, not come in and repair it afterwards.
Right. Gov, there's a big project below Two Lovers Point that I know is getting a lot of coverage. Did you have an opinion on that big project?
No, not at all. I was kind of surprised because I was not involved from the outset of that particular project. I don't even know what it entails. I'm just very busy right now trying to uncovid ourselves here at GVB.
Uncovid yourself. So how's that going? How is GVB on? So you guys had an exposure, right, in the office?
Yeah, we did, and of course we're very, very quick to act on it. And we have a place where we had a standing order to test us whenever we want, and the Guam Radiology Clinic, Roy Adonai was very quick to line us all up and took our tests. And as a matter of fact, while you're testing, they can be giving you your booster shot. So that place is just a tremendous asset to Guam. And so we're okay. I've got some people that are still requiring another 4 days before they get tested to work from home. A lot of this work can be done from home, especially in the marketing area, reaching out for our source countries.
Gov, before we let you go, I want to ask the outlook for 2022. It's just, been kind of like stop and go, obviously because of the pandemic. So what are we looking at for tourism and its possible return in the coming new year?
Well, it's not for the lack of people not wanting to jump out of their country or their source country. Korea is so eager to come here. They were so excited that in November, there were 6 flights coming in a week and all scheduled. And of course, the Omicron kind of set that aside. So we're looking that when this thing goes away for some other reason or some protocols are changed, when people finally realize that we're going to have to live with this COVID, and that we can't just keep going, go 1 foot forward and then 3 back. We can't. Otherwise, I'm telling you, even at the schools, my grandkids are just, they want to go to school, and I think it becomes a problematic if there's a change in lifestyle, and interaction with people, looking at each other without masks on, seeing the smiles, seeing the twinkle in their eyes. If you don't see that stuff, I mean, it changes your attitude. So I think that tourism will pick up at the end of January. I know that Japan Airlines is still scheduling to come back for their first flight January 31st. We hope that will stay. Korea is rescheduled into the mid part of January. And we're ready here. The hotels are actually really waiting for the arrival of our tourists. Thank God for the military coming in and filling in the gap. And so it's going to be good. I think that somebody, I don't know, but I don't know if you remember that we were taken out of the reporting requirement of CDC for Guam and the territories. We've been asking for that. Governor Liu was pressing on that, and they finally kept us out of reporting on us when they don't even report on themselves for every state up there, just territories. And they put out a notice that it's a bad place to go. Don't try to avoid travel there. So I'm hoping that eventually public health and maybe the Adelup and GVB could get together and say, you know what, let's take the bull by the horns and just say, let's do our own protocol here. And we know that we're almost 93% vaccinated and boosted up 25%, that we can handle it. And so far, it's going to happen. People are going to get infected, but we don't see any major increase in hospitalizations or any increase in death. It's going to happen, and I think we're going to have to live with it. I know that they won't listen to me, but I'm just saying that that's what it's going to take, because we can't go a step forward and 3 back. We can't continue to do that. It's just going to ruin us eventually.
Gov, I know that I said last question, but for real last question. So the rules and regulations for adult use cannabis are now over at the legislature, and they're going to be approved, I'm pretty sure, within a couple months, right? So is there any conversation at GVB about cannabis-related tourism?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm just saying I'm going to handle one crisis at a time. And the governor, of course, has set aside that the first $50 million or whatever we get from cannabis goes towards tourism. But the situation is this. A lot of our source countries will not, in surveys, come to Guam if marijuana is rampant and open use here. As a matter of fact, they arrest them when they come back if they know that they test positive. So we got to get over that. Eventually, I think that the cannabis people have agreed that we can set that aside for a while and figure out how to mitigate the fact that it is open here for use in Guam and for purchase, so that the tourists can continue to come. Believe me, they won't come here, and the countries look down on people that come back with that usage. They put them in jail. So we got to figure that out. It's not only us; it's the source countries that have to deal with it.
Wow. Okay, Gov. Anything else you want to add?
No, just make sure you guys know that for the new year, you guys are still the one. I thank you all. Happy New Year.
I was just waiting for that. We're not allowed to hang up with him until he says still the one, at least one. Thanks, Gov. Okay, there you go. Governor Carl Gutierrez, the CEO of the Guam Visitors Bureau. He actually got tested for COVID yesterday. Like he said, there was a couple of his staffers at GVB who popped positive for the virus. And it's just kind of become normal, right, for that kind of thing to happen. You don't even really think twice about it anymore. It's 8:48. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more of the link next. We've got FHP Hoffa Health Tips on the way and a whole lot more, including a word about the emergency rental assistance program. It's coming up. You know what I thought was interesting is when we talk about cannabis and tourism, like Governor Carl said, our source markets fear the devil weed, apparently, right? But I just think it's funny because, if I'm a tourist in Korea and I hear that, weed is legal on Guam, I'm not sure that would bother me as much as like seeing all the meth in the headlines, right? Am I just missing something here? It's like we're drowning in meth and you don't hear any of the tourism people say, tourists find out that, we got a bunch of crackheads all over the island, you're breaking into people's houses, stealing stuff. They're not going to want to come here. No one says that. No one says that. Instead, we continue to demonize marijuana, which is legal. And we don't do enough to curb crystal methamphetamine. Just saying. It's 8:49. Quick break. Back with more of the link. Good morning.
It's here.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We all know that a healthy lifestyle is important to prevent chronic diseases and long-term illnesses and boost mental health. It's difficult to determine exactly which healthy habits are worth investing in to live longer and healthier lives. But FHP is here to help. Tune into the link every Tuesday for FHP Hoffa Health Tips, brought to you by Take Care. Helpful advice about healthy lifestyle choices that will have a big difference in your health from the medical experts at FHP Clinic. FHP Hoffa Health Tips on the link every Tuesday is brought to you by Take Care.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Dokumu Pacific. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows. Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
The Culture Club returns to KUM Digital and KUM News Weekend Edition, highlighting Guam's young artists, activists, and crafters as they work to protect, preserve, and promote our Tamoto culture. Watch this weekly feature on the digital platforms of KUM News Weekend Edition, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam. Pacific Matters is a half-hour news, culture, and lifestyle show focused on issues that impact Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and the larger Pacific region. Join Tomas Maglonia every Monday to discuss politics, trends, and take a deep dive into the issues changing our island home, because what happens in the Pacific matters.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts from our island and region, including culture, lifestyle, awareness, crime, politics, commentary, comedy, and entertainment. Available on most streaming platforms. The KUAM Podcast Network. Subscribe and listen now.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows.
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Chamorro News updates from KUAM News. Catch them on The Link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Chamorro News updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
Hafa Day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
Basically, my life was a revolving door of just getting drugs, using drugs. My name is Anne-Marie Sablan. I'm 26 years old and I'm a student at Guam Community College, about to graduate with my associate's degree in human services. Got my high school diploma with GCC's Adult High program. The staff there is very helpful. They're very friendly and it became like a family dynamic. It's possible for anybody, especially people like me who struggle with addiction.
I didn't get screened because I was just afraid of it.
I
procrastinated. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have insurance.
I didn't want to know.
There were several services that was available to me.
I got a mammogram.
Colonoscopy.
I know in my heart that early detection saved my life.
And I just tell people all the time, please go get screened.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore the Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instaguam today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau's #Instaguam photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Welcome back to the Jason Solis Hour at 9 o'clock, KUAM FM, Agani, Guam. It's the link. Jay, we got FHB.
So I guess we'll see you on Wednesday then, if you're checking out.
We got Hot Health Tips on the way.
We do. We're going to talk to our friend Dr. Vincent Duenas about simple tips that you can use, little baby steps that go a long way as we head into the new year. So you want to stay tuned for that. But as of right now, our buddy Farron Tyron, as we rush into 2022, he's actually kind of made quite the name for himself. We actually brought him on the show earlier this year, you might recall, because he was the gentleman whose work as a dive instructor and as a filmmaker and, doing all these really cool adventure videos and everything like that actually caught like a oil spill in the water. And since then, he's actually been up to that mudslide over at Marbo, and you've had all sorts of really cool adventures and documented most of them and shared them with the world through social media, Farron. So welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. Having been on the show is really awesome. That was just since July. Now here we are again.
Mm-hmm. So has this year, with all these interesting things that you've been able to either stumble upon or experience and then document and chronicle, has this been a really remarkable year as far as someone who's able to capture these moments, or is this like just a typical year in the life of Farron?
It's both of those things. I like to just do things. So I think I've said on the show before, I'm really just a guy that likes to do things. I have an idea. If it's feasible, I'll go for it. If it's not, I'll see if it can become feasible or if it's just a bad idea and I should abandon it, which happens pretty often too. Mm-hmm. So I like to just kind of just do things. But and on the other side of that, it has been a really remarkable year. It's been a really remarkable 6 months. I really kind of got started like with being a little bit more serious about the content I make and the kinds of things I do and try to show just since that oil spill, which was just in July. And then the Marble Cave thing since Hudson Cave, that was also in July. And so really just in the same month. And since then I've just took to it with I guess we'll call it a new hobby and really just trying to run with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, because you are putting this stuff on social media, I'm going to grill you a little bit, like like on your numbers and everything, because we would love to see you like get some, become one of these big time, like internet famous influencers and get all these brand deals and everything like that. So I'm going to be your marketing agent for a second, right? So how have your numbers grown, and what's been the increase in the amount of engagement that you've been able to see with the online community since you've been sharing these videos?
I'll be straight up and say I don't know. I've heard the word analytics and like serious content producers, and so I hope I never call myself an influencer. I don't want to be called an influencer.
Well, there's big money in that, so like if
I don't doubt it, and it's not to knock it. I don't know. I just like making things. I just like to do.
Okay, that's fair enough. Does the increase in comments and like some of the feedback that you get, even though if you don't dive into your numbers and like go through it meticulously with a fine-tooth comb like I would, right? Does it feel palpable though? Like, did you feel that the word is getting out and the stories that you share are getting around and you're making a difference?
Without question. I do know how many, what are they called on Instagram? Followers? On YouTube, there's subscribers. Right? On Instagram, they're called followers. I've had, I think, 3 to 4 times what I started with.
There you go. There's a number.
Tripled or quadrupled. And I'll give you like the most surprising thing to me that tells me that I'm on the right track here. I'll get stopped in public in like by random strangers who I don't know, and they'll just say hi and they like what I'm doing or whatever. And this happens like I guess once a week or so.
Nice.
And I'm like, it's trippy. I'm sure it was weird for you when you guys started broadcasting. Like, hey, you're that nice guy that's on KUAM now. Like
that never happens to me. They're like, oh, you're that guy that Chris tells to shut up on the show.
Whatever.
That's what I get.
So yeah, that to me is really significant. I was Christmas shopping. I walked into Ross with my wife. She's a little excited, so she's a few steps ahead of me. And there's a greeter at the door. This is at the Ross at the mall, and the greeter's like, my wife gets a hello, a nice friendly hello. I'm a few steps behind, and she goes, and the same greeter sees me, and she says, "Hi, the Guam guy. I love everything you do." I'm like, whoa, how do I respond to that?
Nice.
So I laugh. I say hi back. I can't actually remember what I said, but I remember I laughed. And then she says, "Oh, now I know it's you because of the laugh."
Well, there you go. And there it is, the signature laugh. But it would be one thing if you were just saying
analytics.
Yeah, well, that's perfect actually. That you couldn't have said it any better. And it would be one thing if you just said, "Okay, I got some cool gear. I'm a dude with a GoPro, and I'm just going around and look at me. I'm doing all this fancy stuff, living my best life and everything like that." But in each of the videos and each of the productions and adventures that you've done, like there's always a point. You tell people, "Hey, man, we're blessed with this amazing natural environment. We got to take care of it." When you stumbled upon the on the oil spill and everything, you're like, if you see something, please report it because it's going to mess up the oil. You could really endanger yourself as a diver. You taught people how to dive safely. When the Marble thing happened, you immediately reached out to us and said, "Hey, can I tag along with you guys? Because I really want to tell people to take care of themselves."
I do try to make that a point in my things. I like things to have a point. I like when you have information that's actionable. It's things that are nice to know, but also things to look out for that you can report, who to call, who to contact, or things to avoid, or things to do. I like there to be some point of relevance, and I think people appreciate that or respond to that, even if they don't remember it. I'll at least plant a seed. So I've had a couple videos about a dead dolphin that washed up, and a friend messaged me and she said like, "Hey Farron, I found this dead dolphin. Who do I report dead dolphins to?" I'm like, you report them to me. I want to go see that. And then, and then of course I called Brent Tibbetts over at Agriculture, and he came down and we recovered it. So, yeah, just having things be actionable, have some point of relevance at the very least is something I try to strive for.
And that's what I think really separate yourself, because like, and again, you know, I like the fact that you brought up, you know, I don't want to be known as an influencer, because there might be like a little stigma like about that. These videos that you make, you know, and these experiences that you share with all of us and everything, you're not just doing it for the gram, you're doing it for Guam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. If honestly, there's just so much I realized that the things I see, that's just part of my lifestyle, the things that I could share with people, and I just don't quite see it. Maybe if there's somebody else that is doing it, I'm just not seeing it or not seeing that much of it. So I figure I'll do it. The island needs all the allies it can get.
Okay, well, I took the liberty, because you shared a bunch of your videos with me, and you know, you said with your permission, right? So I made like a little bit of a supercut. So we've got some videos, like it's this big mishmash of, you did an underwater video about you hung out with some turtles, and then you went rappelling down the side of a waterfall, which is insane, and then you went to St. John's and you did some beekeeping and everything like that. So real quickly, just kind of like with those three situations, like set up what you took away from that and what you learned.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so we'll do that when we finish playing this video. So here is Farron's some of his many adventures right here on the island of Guam.
Within the dive community of Guam, this is a fairly known spot to find turtles. Now, I've been coming here for as long as I've been diving, but 12 years ago, I would have seen maybe 1 or 2 turtles lying on top of this coral. But in this video, there's actually 6 of them around. All this time, I just thought it was a place that turtles like. Maybe it's comfortable to them somehow. And that completely changed recently when I noticed something. Do you see it? Look at the little fish. They're pecking at the turtle, and the turtle is totally cool with it. They're eating algae or parasites or whatever off the shell and skin. So you know what this means? The last time I did this hike was 10 years ago, and at the time I thought it was the most dangerous hike on Guam. Fast forward to today, and I still think it's the most dangerous hike I've done here. Purely for the dual challenges of nearly vertical rope climbing up and along slippery waterfalls. So this time I thought we'd try rappelling down the steeper falls, and it was amazing. There are few places you can experience this sublime combination of astounding views and intense adventure. So if you've been itching to get off the island and travel, I know. We carefully remove the individual honeycombs one at a time to be placed into trays for transportation off-site. And it's exactly as weird as it looks to hold a honeycomb in your hands. We got our proper beekeeping safety gear, slips, and then my Zoris. When the last honeycomb is removed and all are packed away, you can either vacuum all the bees into the box or let them come in overnight as they find their way back to their bee. I can feel the wind off of their wings. Yes. Oh, that's so trippy. This is the queen. And this is the little box that she goes in.
Just some of the many adventures of Farron Tyron. Now, Farron, I got to tell you, the turtles, I'm all in. You had me at hello with that and everything like that. Everybody on Guam should share that experience at least once in their lifetime. The rappelling, I've done that. It's super, super fun. It's not as scary as it looks. The beekeeper, you're on your own on that one, bro. you're a braver man than I am.
Well, as you can see, we're wearing all of that protective gear, especially the Zoris, right? But it's that's really all up to Chris Rosario, who I have to shout out. One day I was driving through Barragán, and I'm like, man, I want to make a video about bees. So I just randomly messaged Chris Rosario, and he's part of the Guam Beekeepers Association. He's also working with the Department of Agriculture Biosecurity Division, if I recall correctly. So if you have bees or whatever, you can call them up, 475-PEST, P-E-S-T, and they can help you out, take care of you, maybe even take the bees and put them into a colony for honey or whatever. And I messaged him like, hey, I want to make a video about bees. Like, well, I got this thing tomorrow at St. John's if you want to come down. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to come down. out.
So it was, and like you've said, you've inspired so many people I know, because a lot of people were saying, and you told us this in the very beginning, is you would have young people like message you or something like that. It's like, man, I wish I could be like you, because my gear isn't good enough. I haven't been trained as a filmmaker. But you just say, a lot of it is just your willingness to just reach out to people and say, can I do this? And you basically just shoot what you see.
Exactly. That's it. Just if you want to do something, just start doing things. Even if it's not directly the thing, just you can take things in incremental steps, and work your way toward a bigger goal or an end product or whatever. Literally all my videos are just GoPros and a friend's DJI drone. I don't even have a drone.
Hey,
that's all it is.
I want to ask, who do you think gets the most kick out of your videos? Do you get a lot of engagement from people who are new to the island, or just people from here, or is it kind of like both?
I'm gonna guess it's mostly locals, because I'm gonna guess it is mostly locals. If I look through the comments, they all have like a 6-7. Most of them have a 671 in their username, or they have a local name, or if I am getting like kind of stopped in public, it's always locals.
Right.
So, I don't think I do try to make my audience the messages I say and the words I use to really just go for a local audience. I'm not trying to.
It'd be a real cool story.
International.
Right.
What's that?
A real cool story if you head down to Umatic, man, when they're cleaning up the Fort Soledad, how it was vandalized and everything like that. I mean, that in itself is, you wouldn't even have to say anything, just like shoot images, and I mean, like it tells itself.
Yeah, I love it, man. There's so many great content creators. There's so many great accounts on Instagram and across social media that really just highlight all the cool things about Guam. And I was talking with somebody visiting, and it was just kind of funny how people from Guam who live on Guam have so much pride about Guam, right? We just eat it up nonstop, and I love that. I always want to come from a place where people are just like proud to be from this beautiful island and just never take for granted. I mean, bro, I will like stop the car and look at the moon. You know what I mean? So just always appreciate what we have here, because if you've been around the world, it's not always this good.
I totally understand, totally agree. I've lived abroad. I once lived abroad. I didn't touch U.S. soil for 2.5 years. And so I totally understand what you're saying. One time I went to go give a talk at Sanchez, and my friend's a teacher there. She's like, hey, come talk to my students. I said, okay. And I didn't realize how early you wake up for a high school. I completely forgot about that. So I'm driving up the north to Sanchez at 6:30 in the morning. The sun's coming up, and it was gorgeous. And I'm like almost ready to tear just how beautiful it was. When you're saying you stopped the car for the moon, I'm like, I respect that. I feel you, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like your center, right? It's just documenting all these great things about the island. And I really like how you are concerned about oil. I mean, it's great, just basic, everyone should be, right? But I love that you use your platform to kind of like bring attention to environmental issues as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Tell us real quick about collabs, as they say in everything.
Collabs.
Yeah, has anybody reached out to you and wanted to say like, hey, I really like what you do. I do maybe skydiving videos, or I do bungee jumping stuff and everything like that. You want to brainstorm and get together. Maybe we can work on something. Or are there any people that you would like to reach out and and work on a project with?
Has the bungee jumping community reached out to you yet?
There isn't one anymore, isn't there? Didn't we used to have a platform somewhere in the South?
Yeah, that's Telefofo.
I think it's gone.
Yeah.
Telefofo, right? But yeah. Actually, I have had one local business, one person reach out to me. We ran into each other in also while Christmas shopping. I turn into an aisle, and he turns to me and he says, the man himself, and he starts talking about my channel and stuff. I'm like, sorry, tell him if we met. And he's like, oh no, and then he introduces himself and so on. I'm gonna have a meeting with him pretty soon. I'll go ahead and say his name, Tony Suyama, from Guam Peeps, I think is what it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
really
yeah,
cool guy to
I'll
work
get
with.
in
Really
him
easy to get
and,
along with. Very creative.
Really? Okay. I'm really excited to meet him. I think that's the first one that I can think of. I think most people are just really like, that guy's crazy. I like what he does, but I wouldn't do that. I think I think that's how a lot of people would react to my stuff. But yeah, I'll be meeting with him and just see how we might collaborate.
Nice. So maybe we'll be getting a Farron Tyron Guam Peeps doll sometime down the road.
Yep.
I would be very disturbed if that happened and people bought it.
Farron, thanks for stopping by to kind of year in review with us a little bit, but let's look forward now to 2022. What are you thinking that this next year is going to hold for us?
More, like just more. Everything since we started talking and all of the more serious videos I put out has just been since July. So that was just half a year of content, and we're going to have a full year of content coming up. I do have some ideas of stuff I'd like to do and stuff I'd like to shoot, which I'll just keep to myself for now. I don't usually like to share plans in advance until they're already happening or until they're done. So I'm really excited, and if you enjoy my content, you would be excited too. I'm really excited about all the stuff.
Well, we certainly do, man. We're big fans of yours on the show, man. So congratulations on all your success, and we wish you the very best.
Right on, Farron. Happy New Year, bro.
Thank you, and thank you for your contribution to my success.
Well, real quick, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty much just hard into Instagram now. I kind of put Facebook aside. I like the Instagram platform. So just the Guam guy, all one word now. I kept the old one where it has the underscores, but yeah, just Instagram the Guam guy.
It's amazing nobody took that yet.
Yeah.
Someone did take it before, and that's why I didn't use it. So I was talking with my friends at MapTech, and they're all like, "Why do you have the underscores?" I'm like, "Someone took the all one word." He's like, "When's the last time you checked?" And then we checked on the spot, and then I took it right then.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Instagram, the Guam guy, all one word, or diveonguam@gmail.com.
Thank you, Farron.
All right, bro.
All right, thank you guys.
Right on, Farron Tyron. This is the link. It's brought to you by Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, ITD, and Jack in the Box. Jay, it's all good vibes as the new year approaches, but for some people, sun isn't exactly shining. Maybe they're late on their utilities.
Yeah, a lot of people got laid off. A lot of people got furloughed. Some people just had, they had a hard time going into the pandemic already, and the pandemic just made it like a million times worse. But if you are one of those people, we implore you. We've been saying for, 3 weeks and everything.
We implore you.
The emergency rental assistance program, you guys, it's been extended. The reach has been broadened. It only takes about 5 business days. So if you fill out the application today at doa.guam.gov, please either fill out the web form, send in the PDF. You can email era@doa.guam.gov, and you should be able to know about this time next week because of the holiday. So if you've had trouble paying current month's bills, past month's bills, all the way to the last March, water bills, power bills, internet bills, moving expenses, and everything like that, there is a very good chance that you could qualify.
Nice. We did have some comments here. F. Glenn Lujan comments in, "So proud of you, Farron Tyron. He was my former student in 4th grade at Ordot Chalampago Elementary School, home of the ants."
So see, he was doing bees, he was doing turtles, and he's previously
started with ants.
Yeah,
right on. 9:20. Quick break, and the Jason Salas Show continues next with FHP off of health tips on this Tuesday.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E. Discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be with Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore the Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instaguam today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau's #Instaguam photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We all know that a healthy lifestyle is important to prevent chronic diseases and long-term illnesses and boost mental health. It's difficult to determine exactly which healthy habits are worth investing in to live longer and healthier lives. But FHP is here to help. Tune into The Link every Tuesday for FHP Hafa Health Tips, brought to you by Take Care. Helpful advice about healthy lifestyle choices that will have a big difference in your health from the medical experts at FHP Clinic. FHP Hafa Health Tips on The Link every Tuesday is brought to you by Take Care.
Basically, my life was a revolving door of just getting drugs, using drugs. My name is Anne-Marie Sablan. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a student at Guam Community College, about to graduate with my associate's degree in human services. Got my high school diploma with GCC's Adult High program. The staff there is very helpful. They're very friendly, and it became like a family dynamic. It's possible for anybody, especially people like me who struggle with addiction.
Attention basketball fans, the wait is over. Clutch Guam presents the second annual McDonald's High School Basketball Classic, going down December 20th to January 8th at the Father Duenas Jungle. Make sure you come through to watch some high school boys and girls varsity division action. You do not want to miss out. Special thanks going out to KUAM Sports. We'll see you there.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
The Culture Club returns to KUM Digital and KUM News Weekend Edition, highlighting Guam's young artists, activists, and crafters as they work to protect, preserve, and promote our Tamoto culture. Watch this weekly feature on the digital platforms of KUM News Weekend Edition, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.
See what's on TV tonight with schedules, network news and notes, local promotions and giveaways on KUAM Communications social media pages. Like and follow us on Facebook or Instagram now for all the latest and never miss out.
Take in the panoramic beauty of our island each Sunday on the KUM News Instagram with Scenic Sundays. Scroll through the natural beauty of the island on display. Scenic Sundays on the KUM News Instagram is brought to you by Addis Trust and Investment, Location, Service, Trust, and Haagen-Dazs Shops Guam, where every day is made extraordinary.
My favorite Christmas memories, saying the novena and singing all the novena songs. It doesn't get any more Christmas than that.
I'm going to always remember Christmas in Germany. You know, being from the islands and seeing the snow for the first time, always going to be a real good memory of mine.
Far away from home, but not from our hearts. The following special season's greetings from our troops overseas and around the world for you at home.
Hafaday. I'm Rear Admiral Nicholson, and on behalf of my family and I, let me take a moment to wish our friends and community partners in Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of Palau the happiest of holidays. This is my first Christmas in Micronesia, and I'm so grateful to everyone I've had the pleasure of meeting over the past few months. Additionally, I am personally grateful for the opportunity to serve our country from the Indo-Pacific region. This year, as a community, we have overcome a number of major challenges, and we've made a tremendous amount of progress in the fight against COVID-19. It is absolutely essential that we take the time to recognize our frontline workers for all of their continued dedication. I also encourage everyone to do their part and get vaccinated so we can look forward to more holidays spent with our loved ones in the future. Additionally, my heartfelt thanks goes out to all of our service members and civilian employees who are doing the job of defending the region each and every day. Those of you standing duty on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve or any other holiday, thank you for keeping watch over the rest of us. From my family to yours, we wish you a safe and enjoyable holiday season and a prosperous new year.
These special season's greetings from our troops are brought to you locally by the station bringing families together, KUAM Communications and Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together, we thrive.
I didn't get screened because I was just afraid of it.
I procrastinated. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have insurance.
I didn't want to know.
There were several services that was available to me.
I got a mammogram.
Colonoscopy.
I know in my heart that early detection saved my life.
And I just tell people all the time, please go get screened.
This is another Zone production.